eliminated as Calbs is going to be picking up the double.
Yeah, Archangel Predator just keeping Atletico at the edge of the blue zone, making sure that they can't even get. They basically fortified the area. And now with Atletico out of the way, Archangel can start moving into the center of the circle, where QC probably has one of the best positions. Myth will have to abandon this cliff pretty soon in order to avoid the blue zone. But they had a pretty good run so far, hugging the coastline at the lighthouse, and now this cliff. They did bag themselves a couple of kills. They did manage to intervene in some of the fights. It's gonna run up pretty soon. Xmaxanas will find a bit of pot shots onto NBK as Division Gaming will take some fire. Long K will be there beside MBK just to help rest him.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be happy with getting a little bit of that real estate. That hut, surprisingly, sees a lot more action than you would expect. And look at the amount of smokes being popped here by Myth. Ibiza would be proud, as now we're seeing that everyone is trying to see, can they spot them emerging from the smoke? There's a break there, and Joxy is able to land the shots there from Fury. All of them trying to make this as difficult as possible. Golden Cat is inside the gas station at the moment here. They're trying to repel them. Tonke is actually able to take down Minoru, but DIC, luckily for the likes of Golden Cat, they're going to help. But now we do have Homeboya. He is right next to the Golden Cat players. He's the last standing player, in fact, from Myth. And now they're just watching the zone here. The smokes are only going to last so long, and they're going to be waiting to try and finish off this last Myth player.
Yeah, and now he's gonna run into the hut, but met by gunfire, so there goes Myth, 7th place. Division S Gaming, Sapo, trying to be cheeky and sneaky, but not gonna make it as well. He gets knocked down, but still alive as 19 cents will be the backup. Archangel CJ18, he knows that someone's still there, he smells it, but can he get the shot off? No, not yet. Trying to win the gunfight, the lead, not enough. 19 cents will knock CJ down, but will have to give up his own teammate as well as the blue zone closes in.
Mad Dog moving in for a little bit of backup here, as looks like CJ here is going to be bleeding out, so that's a big loss there for Archangel. CJ and Mad Dog always seemingly carrying Archangel to a certain extent here, but of course all of them still going to be in very good stead to win any gunfight. But now they're going to have to do it with the 3 men that they have left, as we're now seeing Division X Gaming with only the single player here with almost no HP. He's going to get taken down, and I think there's still going to be Long K is going to be right in the middle of the circle for now. That's going to allow them to continue onwards here, whereas Golden Cat, they're going to be all the way there on that southeastern side, and they're going to be very fortunate with this new zone that we see here. Fury is still controlling on that northern side, but Archangel seemingly under more pressure. They got QC 4 Horsemen coming in from the northern side, so they have to just be a little bit careful, but they don't have to be too aggressive given they're already inside the zone.
Division Gaming are dead in the dead center, but it's only only Golden Cat is the team that has all 4 members alive, and now DIC might have to take this confrontation. Golden Cat, they're moving into the warehouse. QC, Joeman will take out Cobbs. QC, Joeman will find Mad Dog as well. Archangel Predator not really in a good spot, but DIC themselves are trapped in this building with Golden Cat just prowling around on the outskirts.
Yeah, and look at all this denial. All the utility coming out from 74L1 here. He does not want to go out without a fight here. But Golden Cat all moving in together. They're swarming around him. No chance there for the DIC gaming player. They're going to get eliminated here. But speaking of eliminations, we're seeing Archangel Predator also going to be biting the bullet here as QC4 Horsemen picking up another few kills.
Yeah, QC managing to find those pickouts as Archangel Predator tried to push in, and again QC probably having a decent spot as well, but the burden is going to be on Divisions Gaming. Sure, they are in the middle, but they don't really have the manpower to fend off against all these other teams. Only 2 left alive for Division Gaming. You can see Ikamukao from Fury Australia just eyeing down the cliff. Does see Joeman and Gems. But utilities are being thrown as well for Horseman, taking a bit of pot shots himself, not landing those.
No, this is still a good round for the 4 Horsemen, just considering they already have 9 kills on the board, and they can still get some more. They've been doing the work, clearing out the last of the players there from Archangel. They can still get a bit more from the rest. Golden Cat, though, is the squad here with the full strength, so they're going to be in a very great spot here to be able to try and pressurize the rest of these teams. And for Golden Cat, I would say that they've been a little bit more on the passive side, but they've been having good positioning, so they're not sacrificing that for the sake of trying to take a lot of these more aggressive fights. And next circle, final circle, is actually going to be moving a little bit towards the central side here. Nothing too crazy, as Fury is continuing to try control on that northern side, but they're kind of being spread a little bit thin. At least they do have a little bit of topography in their favor.
Yeah, the 10th kill for QC as Josie gets knocked down, and 4 Horsemen having a clear line of sight. QC can imagine them pushing in as the smoke grenades gets thrown out. Fury Australia, they desperately need to salvage this situation, trying to go for the revive onto Josie, but 4 Horsemen, he knows, he smells blood in the water. Shuck just moving towards his prey, and he's gonna run into pretty soon. It's gonna get line of sight. Josie again gets down by Joman, and Rona will be taken down as well. It's just the last member of Fury Australia alive, but it's no rush as Joman will finish off the remaining members of Fury Australia. Taken knocked out in 4th place.
So Maxonis and the rest of Golden Cat going in for the flank, absolutely sandwiching the Australian squad there. But now it is going to be the Joman and Gems in the sights there of the Thai team, but Maxonis is going to get taken down first. Now Tonke trying to maneuver around the side, but he's not paying attention, and Joman's going to get him down. QC4 Horsemen are having one heck of a game right now as Joman is moving in here. He's trying to press the advantage. They're up against the ropes here with only, it's a 2v2 battle here, but this might not be working out too well for Golden Cat. Now, they are going to have 6 stacks hiding in the smoke, but it's going to be very difficult for him to try and win this one. It's going to be pretty much coin tosses. Tinoy is actually really far away. 6 stacks is, for all intents and purposes, on his own, but look at Division Gaming.
They're coming for the intervention. It's going to be NBK finishing off QC. Definitely something that QC did not expect to happen. So, Golden Cat dodging a bullet, but 6 stack will repay that favor with a few bullets onto Division X Gaming. Unfortunately, no kills confirmed just yet. NBK though does get knocked down by Tinoy, who we saw was hiding in a very far area from his team. Now he's going to be pushing in as well. It's going to be QC. They close out, winner with a chicken dinner.
Yeah, and that's a nice, awesome play to come out with right at the end there for Golden Cat. I mean, they did have the squad strength towards the end, but it looked as though they were going to like fall down to the QC4 Horsemen guys, and it seems as though everyone was doing that as well. I mean, QC4 Horsemen had one heck of a game. I think they had, what, 18 or 19 kills there at the end? We'll have to see after the break when we see on the scores. But yeah, they had a pretty good game. But Golden Cat is the one who's going to be able to get the chicken dinner right at the end. And Division X Gaming, they seem as though they were always like in the thick of things all the way from the start of the game, right from Primorse.
Yeah, they kind of went on a hiatus, you know. They didn't want to be involved in much of the confrontation. QC was on a roll for Horsemen especially, but you know, the unexpected intervention, the X factor from Division X Gaming definitely did mess up QC, and in the end it was Golden Cat who walked away from the brink of defeat and got that chicken dinner.
And I think right at the end, we did see that Fury was also in the thick of things there. Not getting as many kills there, but I think they're going to feel like, yeah, we need to try and get ourselves into another situation where we're going to be able to close things out. The sandwich there from QC, 4 Horsemen, and also Golden Cat at the same time was absolutely devastating there. They're going to definitely want a rematch here, and they're going to have plenty of opportunities, as will a lot of these teams. As I think like we've seen quite a number of teams go out early that maybe we would expect to see them last a little bit later. But who's the standout performer for you in the first game?
I would say definitely 4 Horsemen. Even though, you know, QC didn't win out in the end, I think he was on fire from the get-go, being able to, you know, bring QC up to that final moments where Division S Gaming just came in and wiped them out unexpectedly.
Yeah, I think absolute show of determination and grit coming out from the QC4 Horsemen, and we'll have to see how they look in the standings. They're going to be sitting pretty against the competition, but this is only just match 1, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be having match number 2 after the break, so we'll see you in a few short moments, so don't go away.
No need to adjust your television set. You are not traveling back in time. Hello there. I am Carl Johan Lind. Welcome to the Lind Corporation, where we are working on a revolutionary experience right here in Vikendi. This is Dinoland, the prehistoric park of the future. Children will be greeted by Alex, the lovable T-Rex.
They can ride my Wonder Wheel.
That's right, Alex. And eat at Cammy's Bistro.
Yum, yum.
Or ride on Tato's thrilling mammoth coaster.
Oh, no.
Don't be scared, Alex. All this and more is now accessible on the all-new Dino train. But Dinoland is just the beginning. The entire island will soon be a top-of-the-line resort. We'll have an award-winning winery, an out-of-this-world cosmodrome, and a spa. Dinoland, so amazing,
you would rather go extinct
than to ever leave. need to adjust your television set. You are not traveling back in time. Hello there. I am Carl Johan Lind. Welcome to the Lind Corporation, where we are working on a revolutionary experience right here in Vikendi. This is Dinoland, the prehistoric park of the future. Children will be greeted by Alex, the lovable T-Rex.
They can ride my Wonder Wheel.
That's right, Alex. And eat at Cammy's Bistro.
Yum, yum.
Or ride on Tato's thrilling mammoth coaster.
Oh, no.
Don't be scared, Alex. All this and more is now accessible on the all-new Dino train. But Dinoland is just the beginning. The entire island will soon be a top-of-the-line resort. We'll have an award-winning winery, an out-of-this-world cosmodrome, and a spa. Dinoland, so amazing
You would rather go extinct.
than to ever leave.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the PCS Charity Showdown. This is the second round. We're back on Irango, where if you guys missed out the first round, Golden Cat took it all the way until the end. And HusKKiee, and I'm joined by, of course, the one and only Play of the J.
Thank you, HusKKiee. And yeah, we had one action-packed game to start things off. QC4 Horsemen absolutely on a tear. Golden Cat, though, will be taking the chicken dinner to start things off here for match day number 1 out of 4. We still got 3 other days this coming Saturday, next week, Thursday, and Saturday as well to be concluding all of this action here. All of these teams getting a good chance here to win $100,000 for their chosen charity. Of course, they will win some themselves on the side, but of course, that's the whole point of this event that we have here. And ladies and gentlemen, you also have the opportunity as well to give back to those who are less fortunate as well. All you have to do is visit geekevents.asia/PCSCS donate, and you can donate however much you like for a good cause here. And at the same time, vote for your all-star team amongst all of the pros that you're seeing today. So don't miss out on that. Do go and check it out. But now looking at this game, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a late drop here coming out from the likes of Golden Cat onto Georgia Pole.
Yep, and this time the trajectory of the flight is a bit towards from the southwest to the northeast. Hope I got my bearings right. But yeah, 45 degrees south.
Yeah, so it's from southeast to north.
Southeast to northwest. I keep right. My mistake. I've always have the tendency to mess up east and west. Whoop! Speaking of that,
telling you practice it.
Turtle
14:05.
getting early down. That's a confirmed kill. Oh, unfortunate start for Creatory Esports. Like 1405 has been the first victim of has been the first casualty
in both rounds. He is having the worst luck to start day number 1 so far of anyone. But let's hope that it improves for him and Creatory in this. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an unfortunate way to start. Now, there's going to be Divine Esport here on the Milta side. Now, they're going to have to still navigate all the way up towards the northern side. There's going to be that dramatic shift from the very first circle that we saw in match number 1. So things could be playing out a little bit differently here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know we weren't able to show you the scores before we got into this game, but I can confirm with you that both QC4 Horsemen and Golden Cat are both currently sitting on 18 points apiece. Now, QC4 Horsemen only got third position in terms of placing, but they got 13 kills in that game, so that really hauled them to tie with Golden Cat. Golden Cat managed to get 8 kills, so good performances from them. Division X Gaming also breaking into double digits just from game number 1 with 11 points.
Yep, and Division X Gaming managing to just dodge most of the major confrontations and up till the very last moment where they decided to intervene, and manages to knock out the ringleader, which is from QC, and bagging themselves that third place. But for Creator Esports, this is definitely a very unfortunate day 1 so far, losing 14-05 from the get-go, just like how it happened in round 1. Ferox was the first team to be completely eliminated due to a possible unfortunate rotation, as we did see from the Q feed in the previous round. So this time they're taking a more cautious approach into the mountains and to navigate through the terrain.
Whenever we have tournaments where we have like cross-region play, now this is where, like, I mean, PUBG in general, you always have your own mini tournament metas depending on who's playing. So like you can either go to your favorite spots, or you know that maybe a potentially strong team does happen to go there, then you might not opt for that. But when we get all of these type of events here where these teams don't play in this format all that frequently, there's a lot of feeling out between all these teams. So all these rotations that you're seeing here, some being more or less hazardous, and the timing of them as well. Sometimes they just want to do it much earlier here, but now it does look like Victim from the future is going to be facing quite a bad early game here, as RDK Boss is going to get taken down, as both two athletic players are going to be watching him from the hillside, and that's going to be an early loss to start things off.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. He just wanted to provide a bit of backup, but wasn't able to win the gunfight. So Atletico confirming 1 kill and knocking down the other from Victim from the future. That would definitely leave them crippled in this early game. But Atletico themselves, I think they were able to steal a couple of kills in that first round before getting completely wiped out in that by Archangel Predator, if I'm not mistaken, towards the later stages of the circle. But Victim from the future already with RDK Boss taken out. This is a position that they don't want to be in, considering that the round that they had.
Yeah, now we're seeing Division X Gaming trying to pick up where they left off from the first game in terms of progress, as they're trying to unleash onto Archangel Predator from quite a bit of distance, but not going to be deterring them too much. They're going to feel very comfortable where they are, and we're going to have to see a retreat back to the water town for our Filipino team. The only one that we have here at the moment, but again, you know, Archangel Predator, no slouches. They didn't get quite have the best of finishes to the last game. As you mentioned, they did face quite a bit of pressure from Atletico and the likes of other squads in the near region, but they are currently sitting in 4th with 8 points on the board, so that's nothing to faff about, and they're definitely going to be one of those teams that's really going to try push everyone to the edge here. And I think when we put things in perspective, like both these teams playing together, you know, it's not very often that it happens. And we did say in game number 1, Golden Cat did manage to actually come out on top the last time all these Southeast Asian teams fought together, but Archangel was very close behind them in that second position. So they're, again, not to be trifled with in this competition.
Yeah, and Four Horsemen has a clear sight of where Myth is. They decide to park themselves right opposite of QC, so we might see a long-range gunfight as Four Horsemen. He is scoped out, just waiting for that perfect shot. Being patient, the trigger finger, just needs to get the information across first. This scouting duty is working out pretty well, but remember, Myth is driving uphill. This is going to give the entire Myth away as Four Horsemen now unleashes his bullets. Gonna tag Duck just once, but enough to push him away. Duckman has to retreat.
Yeah, so everyone's just gonna really kind of like dig in a little bit more here. Still 1 minute plus to go before we're seeing where we're going to be going next. And yep, golden rule is you just generally, unless you really have to, you don't want to try and get too entangled in any engagement, as that's really just going to mess up your timings for all your other rotations. So these teams just trying to feel each other out, get a bit more information here. QC4 Horsemen very much going to be on those lowlands there, just north of the school side, as actually Divine Esports actually going to be rotating here a little bit earlier. But I say early, they could just be going in for a very late rotation here, all the way on that eastern side. And usually teams might do this just because once second zone reveals itself, they can straight away go for the next spot.
Yeah, I can see this the movement of Golden Cats. They are just looting Jojo Pool as much as they can before moving out. So now they kind of bunkered themselves on the high ground. A lot of angles for them to look at, where Day Trade Gaming is probably the closest team to them. Archangel Predator also breeding right beside QC. The Four Horsemen might just run into an early confrontation with the Filipino squad, the lone Filipino squad. But as the circle closes in, we're gonna move a bit towards the northeast.
And it's still going to be very fortuitous for quite a number of teams, just given how many are still inside. But that's not going to be enough, as they know that they still want to try and get a little bit better of a position. But they're going to be wary about other teams already being present there, that they can't do anything too drastic. Now, again, it's nothing like the show match where we saw where it's going to be absolutely hazardous moving in unless you're moving with severe muscle. Here, this is the best time to rotate. Anyone else who's rotating will be in not the best of positions to actually wage war on your vehicle at that present time.
The Division X Gaming still pretty much on isolated ground. I say that Day Trade is gonna run past Linksy from Atletico, who has full information on where Day Trade are heading towards, as they let's fire a couple of bullets, not able to cause too much damage. But Linksy will just let a few more shots in his capacity, as Day Trade will be able to dodge a bullet right there. But now they kind of know that they are in a pinch, as gunfire does rain down from Atletico from the high ground.
Day Trade is still going to be okay for now. They managed to finally get that spot going for them. There's only going to be that long range pressure. Just have to, again, make sure they do not take too much damage in the early game, as that will affect things later on. Oh, not protecting their vehicle enough here, as Linksy here is actually going to be prodding away at that rear tire, as it's going to be completely shredded there. Not going to, I mean, yeah, he's not going to really care too much, but again, at this level of competition, every little bit is going to help. And they might only have that one vehicle there at the gas station. Didn't see any other there. Could be influential later on when they are trying to rotate in phase 3 if that happens. But now we're seeing Division X Gaming here is going to continue their rotation. 19 Cent here taking a little bit of damage, but they're going to be going all the way towards the Severny side of things, as Golden Cat, they're definitely going in for this very outside play, moving in late into the zone.
Yep, and this has been the movement for the first two phases, going into phase 3, where they just looted the entirety of Jojo Pool and just play around the outskirts. So Golden Cat playing a bit more passively. This is kind of a repeat of round 1, where the moment Divine Esports shows up at military base, they decide to just ditch the entire area and move on to find shelter elsewhere. It's going to be IQ 500 again, alone and stranded. Creator Esports. This is how they've been playing in round 1 as well, where the members are kind of split up. But unfortunately, losing one member early on for 2 rounds in a row might have changed how they want to play this, as Gems will knock down Bad Guy off screen.
Ferox also going to be taking up residence at that compound that you just saw here, but Bad Guy should be fine. Basil will be able to get him up, but Four Horsemen giving away their position. But seems a bit weird seeing them with 0 kills on the board. They were on an absolute tear in the first game. Haven't quite got things going here. But again, you're not going to sacrifice good positioning or a compound, just for the sake of getting kills. Those will come naturally, but DIC Gaming here is going to be not looking so great. They lose one player as he's caught in rotation, as yeah, I think they haven't had the best of luck so far, but now it looks like the zone going to be closing here, and this is going to make it a little bit awkward in the later stages, just because right through the middle of the zone, we do have the river here, and you generally just don't want to have to try and rotate over that too much here, especially the elevated positions on either side, just going to make it a little bit more treacherous.
Yep, and coming in from the south side, crossing the bridge would be a challenge as well. Both bridges are controlled, I believe, one by Phoenix Gaming, but Fury Australia, now they still kind of on the outskirts, so Not in too much risk. They have been also picking up stragglers. I think in round one they were almost same as Atletico Esports, where they were getting those kill steals early on. As now Golden Cat would be finally entering the fray of things, but right in front of them is going to be Cerberus, and if they keep driving in this direction, they might just run straight into Cerberus Esports.
Right now, they are still going to be having quite a bit of a wide berth there, but it does look like Creatory is still setting up shop here. They don't want to move in too quickly, and they actually might get spotted out by the Thai players here, just using the height advantage here. They're definitely going to be seeing the rotation coming out there from the lone Creatory player, but in rotation, Ferox is going to be facing it here. Sweet Soul getting taken down, the combination of 19 Cent and Long K, going to be collecting that point there.
Yeah, and Tino also, Tino also spotting out someone behind the tree. Now they're just gonna try and close in. Creatory Esports not really in a good spot as Ferox losing that one member as Division S Gaming now engaged in a total gunfight. 19 cents with his second kill onto Nico, and Nico is just stranded right out in the open. That is a free shooting target. He'll be finished off by 19 cents. Who's now gonna duck back to cover behind that truck and heal back up. So Ferox already 2 men down from the get-go as Castel from Creatory will take out 6 stacks from Golden Cat right behind that hut.
And it's actually from a couple positions here that Creatory is exacting that pressure on a Golden Cat, not being too aware of their surroundings, getting them stuck into this difficult spot here, and they are currently not inside the zone. Ferox, though, is going to get finished off as Sapao is going to be putting those finishing touches, and now they're going to have this compound all to themselves, but it's not like they're going to stay here that much longer. They already need to be moving. They are tanking the blue damage. It is not going to be absolutely treacherous, but this is, again, not what you want to have happen. But at the very least, you do have the spoils of war. Nice little bit of loot. See whether or not that they have much loot there. But now Cerberus here is going to be trying to repel these attackers, but they have got Divine Esports outnumbered 4-2 at the moment. Or 3,
Yeah,
rather.
and Tonke will be the second casualty of Golden Cat as Creatory Esports now clapping back with those gunfires. Tino will take out Castel as the circle now dips down to the south side, just outside the outskirts of Rosa, across that bridge. It's where Phoenix Gaming are kind of hold up in a great position. Turtle with a grenade right onto second floor. It's not going to connect in any way, but it's going to be Divine Esports and Cerberus in a direct conflict and around this compound.
So difficult for them to really just try and push into this building. I mean, this compound has got quite a few buildings stacked very close together. And again, just to push into the buildings, you have to push up the staircase. And unless you can get a lucky knock here with one of these frag grenades, it's going to be really difficult to gain any ground. But these teams can afford to take a little bit more time. There's still going to be that presence inside the current zone, but now reality here might get spotted out by Tinoy as he's coming out over the top here. It's going to deal significant damage here, and he's trying to lie prone, but it's not going to save him. And IQ 500 is going to be a little bit close, but it's not close enough to really affect the outcome of this. But Golden Cat, despite getting that kill, only has Maxonis and Tinoy left here. 2 kills on the board. That's not looking too good for the match 1 winners.
Yep, but as they trade, getting a lot of knocks in the bag. No confirmed kills just yet, but Atletico not really in a good spot as they do have, I believe, 3 members taken out. And it's going to be the finishing touch done by Mighty as Creatory Esports will be eliminated. Atletico as well taken out in 14th place. There's 2 teams immediately eliminated from round 2. But Anquan from DIC will find himself a couple of sweet targets to fire upon.
DIC Gaming bouncing back a little bit here, putting that pressure there onto Day Trade. They only have the 2 players there inside the smoke as Venotica are going to get taken down. Flash trying to move away from this position while the smoke is still working in their favor, and they're going to try and move over the crest of the hill. JG Leo, though, is not going to want to let this stand. It's going to press the advantage here. They need to move anyway, so they might as well try and catch them, shooting them in the back, not able to land enough shots to get down there, but he's going to come up with a play here, I do believe, as he's going to be taking the vehicle. He's going to maybe crash into the building, waiting for the rest of his squad first.
It might be doing just that as entry Frag and the rest of his squad of VTF. Victim from the future again deciding to take a dive, just like game 1, where you go for this more passive route and pretty safe way to survive the first few phases. But conflict still continuing with Divine Esports and Cerberus. With Cerberus now taking more of a hit compared to Divine Esports. So basically, we'll have to duck behind those cargo stacks.
That was a little bit risky there from Basil. He doesn't have any players around him, but JG Leo didn't even get to the compound, it would seem here, or rather he drove right past it, but he's getting taken down. Daytrade is taking down the other players here from DIC as well. Tony is out for the count here, but there's going to be Flash eliminated as well. There's only one left. Matey here is going to have to run for his life, but there's going to be Division X Gaming with 6 kills already on the board, really controlling and constricting all of these players on that northern side. But soon they're going to be the ones who are going to find it a little bit difficult to get across, as we did see Victim from the future also facing that. But the shots there from Lonke is going to be finishing off Daytrade.
Yeah, if you look at the map, Victim from the future is kind of the gatekeeper at the bridge right now, as the circle now centers in where Phoenix Gaming are. I believe Phoenix Gaming has been able to avoid all confrontations up to this point. They still are bunkered up in this really nice compound. A lot of buildings, a lot of open grounds for them to maneuver around as well. But for DXG, maybe not so lucky. Whoever needs to cross the bridge will have to face VTF in some point, as Sapao accidentally runs over 19 cents with his car.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. We always say these guys got license to kill but not to drive, but now we're seeing that Archangel Predator trying to come around the side. They've got the whole of the mid squad going to be inside the compound. They're throwing in some retaliatory grenades here. Calv's getting taken down there as one exploding his vehicle right there, not able to get out on time. Mad Dog is trying to return the favor there to Escalucia, and is going to be good, taking down the mid player. That is going to start putting the pressure here onto the Thai squad. But Mad Dog is going to get shot there as he's trying to prime in another nade.
Oh, and it's going to be Dems trying to fire on the vehicle, but he gets ambushed by Darkness from behind. Dems being taken out, unexpected intervention again, as Archangel Predators, 3 members huddled together. Onboya will take out Mad Dog, and it seems like Archangel Predator will be cleaned up by QC for Horseman.
Yeah, JR is going to weigh in with that one here for some third-party fire, but now Cerberus moving in here towards Divine Esports. Divine Esports trying to do what they can. They're repelling some of them, but Bad Guy's coming in there with the double there, and he's going to be able to put the finishing touches on a Divine Esports. 4 kills in the bag, and only Subang has been taken out. So I would say that's a big win in their book, but they waited for the right moment. They've been engaged in that battle for the longest of times.
Yeah, and after what felt like an eternity, that Mexican standout was ended. Cerberus went for a very confident push and managing to close things out. But look at this bird's eye view. Phoenix Gaming in a pretty safe spot. Kush takes out Swit from QC as Sapao wants to land a few shots of his own from across the river. No one is going through the bridge where VTF has set up camp, but DIC, Unquan, and Duckman might be running into each other pretty soon.
Right now, everyone just going to be holding their ground. They want to see how risky of a play they have to try and play it, but it looks like most of the teams here are going to really not like how the circle's going to be ending up. But Phoenix Gaming definitely having the one compound inside the zone, but it is quite a big one. I'm not sure they're going to be able to hold it all by themselves.
Division X Gaming, they are completely spotted out. This is like shooting fish in a barrel as Duckman sees all of them drive into the river to go for a swim, and now he's just going to pick them off one by one. Teddy also weighs in a bit as well, but he gets shot by an unknown assailant. This is just Duckman. This target practice. Sapa will take down Teddy. He'll knock down Man as well, as Long K will drown in the river stream. So many swimmers, but all of them are going to get shot down one by one. Entry Fragger downs NBK, but Hornboy has steals that away. Division X Gaming are now basically trapped below the bridge like a troll. Sapa will have to heal up as he is the lone survivor for the team.
Yeah, we'll have to see who is going to be the Troll King at the end of this battle, but currently it's a one-on-one between Entry Fragger and Sapao. there's still not going to be enough time here for these guys to get into proper position. The blue zone's already corralling them, but there's going to be Minoru here trying to land the shots onto Anquan, but it's going to be redneck
What?
fishing from Sapao that's going to be putting the finishing touches on the DIC gaming player.
Oh, Anquan gets tagged by that grenade, but somehow he actually just takes out Victor from the future all on his own. Division's Gaming, they are not out of this just yet. Somehow managing to fend off his attackers, but now the rest of the teams will close in on the compound where Phoenix Gaming are. They have been holed up there for the longest of times, but it is time to be out of the nest and engage in proper combat. It's going to be Myth taking up that challenge.
Right now, we can see that Dr. Logi getting out of dodge there, not wanting to try and deal with the whole onslaught of Myth by himself, as now Phoenix Gaming is condensing themselves into a little bit more of a potent fighting force to try and repel these would-be attackers. But Sapao, 6 kills by himself, 11 kills for Division X Gaming. He's been eating his vegetables today. Basil getting shot down from long range from Buriram. Kush trying to get in on the action, see if he can steal the kill, but gives up subsequently. But Sapao is going to get taken down there, as Fury going to be able to claim that one there. And yeah, they managed to get a good haul in this game.
Yeah, 11 kills, 6 plays. That's actually not too shabby for Division X Gaming, considering the fact that Sapao was basically holed up under the bridge, somehow managing to take down the entire team of VTF. But as we engage phase 7, right down to the center, and only a little bit of building to work with. The rest are all open ground. PNG and Myth are probably the two teams that are in a comfortable spot with buildings, as the rest of the squads will have to brave the open plains of this circle.
Yeah, Fury has to cross quite a bit here. Myth could do a lot, but Minoru is going to get taken down first. Joxy with a nice headshot there, and now this could be enabling them to try and assault the compound. They're mounting their vehicles here, but Duckman's trying to see what can he do from the side. This is going to be a little bit more difficult here, but Fury is not going to be deterred. They are going to try and make their play right now, but Phoenix Gaming and Myth are both in front of them. This could be devastating here, as Homeboy is going to take down Ronan here, but now they're trying to get a little bit further, but Insight is going to go down next here, as Joxy hanging back a bit, as now they are down to 50% squad strength.
And Phoenix Gaming are just having the time of their life. They are just taking shots from across the compound, from the opposite side. Myth and Fury Australia engaging in combat. Phoenix Gaming, they are just putting in shots to get those finishing kills. So Myth, they are the ones who are betrayed. They are betrayed by the situation, as Kalusia does knock down Hikamukau, but they have been severely crippled, as Fury Australia now with only 2 members alive, one of them down. Still, they're locked in combat with Myth, and there's no turning back right now.
Yeah, they're locking horns, and there's still Buriram United shooting from across the way, as Hanboya is finally going to finish off the second to last player there from Fury. There's only going to be Joxy, and he's all the way out. He's not even inside the zone, but he just can't move, and looks like Esquel Lucia is going to be able to get the final touch there, as we're going to be seeing the Australian team bow out here in match number 2.
Yeah, straight through the skull. A perfect shot. So Myth still in the game, even though they got knocked. 3 members got knocked, but none of them will finish off. So 4 members strong. It's only Cerberus who has 2 members down, as the 4 remaining squads are pretty much equal in manpower, as that circle will force almost all the teams to go out into the open.
This is actually going to prompt Myth to push into Phoenix Gaming. They don't really have a lot of choice, given the fact that Cerberus and Buriram United have got open view of them if they were to move just into the zone here. Buriram already attracting quite a bit of fire. Myth making themselves known. 10 kills in this game. They're looking to see if they can have a very good engagement here with Phoenix Gaming. They might be in with a shot, but again, that's a tall order. Phoenix Gaming, they have managed to condense themselves a little bit here and there, but they can still get entirely pushed here with the full 4-man squad.
Yep, and Myth now, they're making the move. Wait for the long rotation on the edge. It's, again, dangerously close to Phoenix Gaming. as Greeny will spot out one tango from Myth. So they're not going to walk downstairs. This is probably just going to be a direct conflict. Myth having the advantage of the building that they managed to somehow take over next door.
Kush right now is going to be on the garage structure on the back. He might be able to have some good views, but the rest are all very narrowly spaced out here. And Myth just needs to try and find them. They don't have a lot of information to work with. Bury Rum, they're setting up shop here. They're already taking down the tires of their vehicles.
Oh.
Lucia getting taken down. There's a trade. Dr. Lucia as well going to be down as they're trying to push in. Homboya with taking a lot of damage here. He's going to have to bug out and heal up pretty quickly here. But now there's still 3 Phoenix Gaming players still up here. Greeny moving in. Kush is going to take down Duckmans with the errant grenade here. Logi is going to get taken down, but now the blue zone here is corralling them all outside. But there's going to be more action from Honboya. He takes down another 2, as now all of them are against the ropes. Phoenix Gaming out for the count as Minoru gets the final touch there, and the Vietnamese squad is out.
And somehow Myth managed to come out on top. A stray grenade from Kush actually crippled, I believe, Escalucia, but Myth Gaming just having the better end of the straw at the end. Now they have 2 members still alive. The circle closing in just in time, but we're not down to the final leg. Phase 9. Burim Esports still 4 members strong. They were out, I believe, 6th to 8th place in the first round, but this time they have a really good chance of walking away with this, as Cerberus Esports will be playing the sneaky method. HusKKiee, bad guy prone right now. He's trying to crawl their way into the center, as Buriram will be playing on the edge.
Buriram United have to really play this one carefully. I mean, they do have the numbers advantage, but they're essentially still playing a 4-on-4, and even more so, they're playing 2 different squads, which have got 2 different things in mind. You can see Gillies being employed right here by Buriram, so they are really going to take it nice and slowly. But there's every chance here that the champion of the Thailand Series 2020 is going to be able to come out with it. They were a little bit underwhelming in the PSSC, but they might be able to do it here currently. Though, given the kind of terrain, everyone's playing a game of pros.
Yep, this is just see whoever crosses into the open, and immediately the grenades fly by Buriram. They decide to take the offensive, and bad guy taking a chunk of damage from all those Molotovs and grenades. Managing, he gets tagged by 2 of them, but somehow he's still surviving. HusKKiee, though not so lucky, finally down to the blue zone. He'll be finished off by God Mao, as Buriram will now lay down the firepower, eliminating Cerberus, and they will also take out Buriram United Esports. You'll get a chicken dinner for round 2.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty pleased with that one. Not a huge amount of kills, but they're not going to care. They're getting solidly on the board, and in round 2, that's not bad at all, especially since round 1 didn't really work out super well for them. But I think, speaking of how the previous round went, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick look at the scores from round number 1. We're unfortunately not able to show it to you beforehand. Now, of course, Golden Cat did take the chicken dinner, but they are currently tied after that first game with QC4 Horsemen on 18 points, as mentioned earlier on. But things are going to change a little bit more now. But Division X Gaming, 11 points on the board, and combined with the fact that in this match number 2 that we just saw, they managed to get, I think, about 11 kills at least. So that's going to help double their points total right now.
Yeah, Division X Gaming, they should have been out, a couple of teams, but they were able to hold on with their dear lives. Unfortunately for Team Ferris and Creatory Esports, these 2 teams have not had a good first 2 matches. Team Ferris were the first team to get knocked out twice, and Creatory Esports, subsequently, they lose a member at the start of the round. So they're the ones who are kind of on the ropes, at least for day 1, but there's still 3 more rounds for them to go.
Yep, so that was just the match 1 scores, ladies and gentlemen. We still have got to tabulate the scores for match number 2, which we just saw there. Buriram United taking the chicken dinner there, but Myth getting double-digit kills and the second place, I do believe, by the end of it there. We'll have to see how the race is looking here, but I think we've seen quite a tussle at the top of the standings.
Yeah, and I think at first it was QC, Golden Cat, and Division X Gaming, but now Buriram and Myth are kind of joining the party as well. And I believe the fact that no QC4 Horsemen were taken out early, kind of I think 8th and 9th place in round 2 definitely did freed out a lot of breathing room for the rest of the teams who are constantly aware of them. But it's also kind of coordinated assault where Golden Horse with the QC4 Horsemen were just not able to respond to.
Absolutely. And I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking a short break. So again, big thanks to Predator for sponsoring the charity show match. And of course, big thanks to PUBG, partner in organizing this whole event. So that's going to be it for HusKKiee and Play the J4 now. But we will see you for match number 3 after the break.
No need to adjust your television set. You are not traveling back in time. Hello there. I am Carl Johan Lind. Welcome to the Lind Corporation, where we are working on a revolutionary experience right here in Vikendi. This is Dinoland, the prehistoric park of the future. Children will be greeted by Alex, the lovable T-Rex.
They can ride my Wonder Wheel.
That's right, Alex. And eat at Cammy's Bistro.
Yum, yum.
Or ride on Tato's thrilling mammoth coaster.
Oh, no.
Don't be scared, Alex. All this and more is now accessible on the all-new Dino train. But Dinoland is just the beginning. The entire island will soon be a top-of-the-line resort. We'll have an award-winning winery, an out-of-this-world cosmodrome, and a spa. Dinoland, so amazing
You would rather go extinct.
than to ever leave. No need to adjust your television set. You are not traveling back in time. Hello there. I am Carl Johan Lind. Welcome to the Lind Corporation, where we are working on a revolutionary experience right here in Vikendi. This is Dinoland, the prehistoric park of the future. Children will be greeted by Alex, the lovable T-Rex.
They can ride my Wonder Wheel.
That's right, Alex. And eat at Cammy's Bistro.
Yum, yum.
Or ride on Tato's thrilling mammoth coaster.
Oh, no.
Don't be scared, Alex. All this and more is now accessible on the all-new Dino train. But Dinoland is just the beginning. The entire island will soon be a top-of-the-line resort. We'll have an award-winning winery, an out-of-this-world cosmodrome, and a spa. Dinoland, so amazing
You would rather go extinct.
than to ever leave.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to the PCS Charity Showdown. You're joined together with me, Play of the J, with HusKKiee, and we're going to be bringing to you match number 3 here very shortly.
Yep, and match number 3, the last time this team's going to compete on Erangel, at least for today, before moving on to Miramar. But the first 2 matches have been pretty intense between some of these teams. We saw QC4 Horsemen going on an absolute tear in match 1. Match 2, match 2, I believe Myth was able to kind of close things out, and we also saw some plays from Division X Gaming who were able to hold on despite being in an unfavorable situation. We also saw unfortunate events to some of the team as well, especially Ferox, who got knocked out 16 in both matches, and of course 1405, who has not been able to play much PUBG. Hopefully that will change in match 3.
Yeah. Poor guy. Yeah, let's hopefully things change here, especially considering the show match of Vietnam lost as well. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. But after 2 rounds of play, let's see how the standings look here. So things are going to be a little bit interesting. Myth is on top currently for that second game that we did see. Buriram, they got the chicken dinner. They are still 1 point behind. 11 kills. Together with Division X Gaming, both getting into those double digits, and that's really a reflection of the level of confidence that these guys have and the ability to get into those good positions, really close out the game strong. Myth, I mean, they were powerhouses strong right to the end, especially that battle that we saw with them and Phoenix Gaming. Phoenix Gaming having a great position for the longest of times, but could only make 5th as a result of running into that whirlwind that is Myth's aggression.
Yeah, and judging by the results from match 2, Myth is actually now in first place. QC Forest only got 3 points, so that sets them at a total of 21. Myth definitely taking the lead right now. And I think Buriram United also catching up as a result of match 2. Division X Gaming in running for 3rd place. A major setback for QC4 Horsemen, considering the first match that they had.
Yeah, so now after 2 matches, let's see at the overall standings. How does it look? Oh, okay. I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer for the overall, ladies and gentlemen, so we apologize for that. But I think Division X, they managed to get some good results here from what we could see over the course of those 2. So we will mention to you what will be the overall scores later on as we progress, as we're almost ready here for our next Erangel match. But yeah, I guess there's still going to be quite a bit of options here for these teams to try and change a little bit. And at the end, they're still very much trying to feel their way into the opponents, in terms of like the tactics and what they're bringing to the table. But I think in terms of consistency, yeah, we've seen Division X getting some good points. QC had some great moments in terms of the fragging power as well.
Yeah, and I think QC in match 1 and match 2, the biggest difference is that match 1 they were getting a lot of frags, but match 2 they were just they were playing a bit more passive, and they got picked off when they finally engaged in combat. Myth, on the other hand, was a completely different monster in match 2. We saw it in the very first round. They were kind of playing, behind the rocks, beside the cliffs, on the offshores. But round 2, they just went right in, guns blazing, and got that chicken dinner. But here we go, the last Erangel map, at least for today. We're going from north to south this time with the flight trajectory.
And this is gonna, I think, it gives us a decent spread, of over the whole of Erangel before we move into the Miramar segment. But again, Erangel sometimes could be the more comfortable map for these teams. But I mean, all these teams are so experienced. They probably just have enough understanding of the game regardless. And I know we don't have it in this charity show match, but normally in the competitive scene we will have Sanhok as well, so that adds an extra bit of flavor in terms of how these teams have to try and perform at the next level, just to overcome the randomness or the kind of chaos that you get with that map. But unfortunately, we're not going to see it here, but there's still plenty to be seen from all these teams competing on Erangel and Miramar.
Yeah, Buriram United this time just going for a really spread out drop. Same as Cerberus. It's when you're if you kind of decide to parachute in these open plains, you can cover as much ground as you can. And you see the state of the game this time, the first circle all the way to the west side, the southwest side, where most of the teams are not even close to being. But you can see DIC and Daytrade are in very close proximity with one another.
And this circle looks almost exactly the same as match number 1. So, yeah, good thing the flight path is going to be a bit different here. So they're definitely making things a little bit more spicy in terms of the later rotations. But looking at the tabulation that I have for the overall standings, Division X is currently sitting at the top of the standings. So they didn't quite get in the top 2 spots in either of the matches, but I think they got 3rd spot in terms of the overall points for both matches, and that's because they've been getting pretty good mixture of placement and kills as Mercy Cerberus able to take down CJ. And oh man, Archangel, they've not had a fantastic start. Currently Archangel is sitting in that 10th spot with still the 8 points. They didn't get anything from the last round.
Oh man, DJ just experienced a literal drive-by. But nothing much he can do, trying to hide behind that one lonely tree, ending up being the casualty victim to Cerberus Esports. So at least this time it's not 1405. That's something that he can be grateful about.
And right now, Division X, the fact that currently they're going to be having quite the amount of kills. They have about 16 kills so far. They're going to see, can they add a little bit more. Sapao, though, was the king of the trolls under the bridge here, but now we're seeing that JJ Leo just not able to get a connection there. As Bad Guy is going to continue getting away, but oh, it looks like Al Pacino is gotten shot out of the vehicle, and he's going to be in trouble here. DIC Gaming might be going in for the kill here if they can.
Yeah, and JJ Leo just trying to find a vantage point, but Anquan is on the hunt. Bad Guy crawling away to safety. And no, JJ Leo.
But yeah, now looking at Fury, they're going to be all the way here in Yasnaya. So they're going to be having quite a bit of breathing room, but that's going to be suffocated by the blue zone if not too careful. But we'll see how that is going to be showing up a little bit later on. But I think there's still going to be quite a bit of rotation that they have to plan out. They could go for a very long one around that western side of the side, so of the main island. So we'll see if they're going to be doing something like that. But I think they resigned to the fact that they're going to be doing a little bit of a late rotation.
Yep, and I think at this point of time, you can see that Archangel Predator 10th place, not too shabby. They had an average round 1 and 2. I think match 1 was probably more in their favor. They had the position at the edge of the final few circles up to, I think, when they took out Fury Australia or Buriram Esports, but they were not able to make it further than that. Only 8 points in total, but this is definitely a more lackluster start considering the fact that they lost CJ from the get-go.
CJ and Mad Dog always very instrumental and providing quite a bit of backbone there. But of course, Kalbs and Killa, they are going to continue onwards here together with Mad Dog and see what else that they can be doing here to get some serious points on the board here for Archangel. Now, it doesn't look as though that's going to be the way. Kalbs is going to get picked off there by Gems, and he's going to say thank you very much. And it seems as though Archangel just can't get anything going. I mean, they are a force to be reckoned with in this APAC region for sure. But we've not seen them hit a spark just yet. But good thing with these tournaments is that we always have the chance to have these kind of teams pick themselves up back later in the tournament. You do have these breaks in between each of the play days that, you get a chance to really go back, collect your thoughts, readjust, reset yourselves.
Yep, Creator Esports now again engaged in combat. That is right across the bridge. Not able to land the shots though. IQ 500 and 1405 both wanting to contribute a bit to take out any members of Divine Esports, but all of them just drive right through the bridge. Not really sustaining too much damage in Creator Esports. That must kind of sting considering the fact that they had such a good opportunity, but Numsy does have his truck topple over a bit. No big deal. Divine Esports managing to get out of jail, and Turtle even finding a new car for himself.
Yeah, I think he was basically telling himself this is fine for a while with the burning car all around him, but he's gonna change vehicle. He wants a different bit of scenery to his life right now. But it does look like now Creatori are going to be firmly on the Sosnoka Island as they're going to be rotating all the way down the southern side. And 1405 he is still alive in this game, despite the fact that 3 other people have died before. I mean, he's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he's had some terrible luck so far to start day number 1.
Yep, and it's going to be the meme of the night, at least for today. So far, it has been a better start for Creator Esports compared to the first 2 rounds. And even so, I think first 2 rounds they have only been able to bag like a couple of kills in total, probably around 5 or 6. But this time they definitely have a better start. Letting Divine Esports kind of get across the bridge scot-free probably wasn't what they wanted, but Flash is going to get the shot on Tinoy, and it's going to be Day Trade bagging themselves the first kill of this match.
Golden Cat not having a great start to match number 3. Now, after they were leading in match number 1, match number 2, we didn't see a great performance coming out of them. They actually went out in 13th position with only 3 kills to their name. And as a result, they've dropped down to 4th position here. So, but it's not really that much of a stretch. You know, there's Division X on 24 points, Myth on 22, QC 4 Horsemen on 21, tied with Golden Cat with 21 as well. So things are still pretty nice and cozy at the top of the standings.
Yeah, Burram just watch QC 4 Horsemen, just watch JS drive by the cliff at the foot of the hill. Not really sure if they got much information off of that, but Victim from the Future, they are going to relocate themselves finally from the top of this mountain into the circle. There's nothing much for them there anymore. No teams are going to pass by. Now they need to find a new location to bunk in, but Gems does find himself a shot on to from across the mountain.
Yeah, it's quite spaced out the 4 Horsemen at the moment, but never mind. They will still be able to bring the apocalypse a little bit later on. But now we're seeing more rotations coming in here as we're about to hit phase number 2. And this is really going to dictate a lot of the pace. You can already see people hedging their bets whether or not it's going to be on the island or on the Sosnovka island. But it is actually going to be in the middle here. But I dare say that it's still going to be on the main island here a little bit later on. Insight, meanwhile, is going to be able to claim 1 point on the board here for Fury as RDK Boss is going to be out for the count.
Oh, this circle actually is going to end up messing a lot of teams. They are now sandwiched with each other as now 4X forced to take a fight. Minor will win the gunfight against Sweet Soul. And it's definitely not a sweet death for him as he's bleeding out in the open. None of his team members can retrieve him, so they have to give him away as Darkman will be the one finishing him off. But as Kalusia not done yet. 4X needs to get out of that immediately.
Yeah, Kalusia not able to land any more shots there, but they're going to already take significant losses as, Sweet Soul not moving quite as fast as you would imagine on that motorbike, but I think he was in the process of turning. But Golden Cat is going to be having the compound here next to the bridge. They're going to be able to lock it down. But Fury here is under trouble. But the counter shots there in motion. Joxy from downtown is going to help his teammates there while they're trying to rotate through here. Now Victim from the Future is under pressure as Teddy gets taken out there as Ronan just rips him a new one.
Yeah, Fury Australia playing from multiple angles. The cover fire from Joxy was just absolutely perfect. Catching Victim from the Future off guard. They thought it was just a normal drive-by, but they didn't pay attention to Fury, who was the sniper. And now JS, he himself has found a couple of targets from Fury Australia. Joxy will have to abandon sight with the cover of the smoke grenade.
Yeah, so now QC 4 Horsemen have got that 2-2 split going for them, controlling a lot of space. Joxy having to prone shuffle his way out of there, but he's going to get a pickup there as I'm going to see if they can get into a little bit of a better spot here, but Gems here deciding not to open fire here. But Insight actually is going to be trying to weigh in on that one in case he was going to be a little bit difficult. So he picks up and leaves, but Fury, they're going to have to try and reconvene now and see, can they lock things down on that northern side?
I'm managing to find just the sweet spot at the corner of the circle as they trade. Will go for a swim, a very risky one. They are within the trajectory of Cerberus, who, if they spot them out, then Day Trade would be effectively shot down. It's 19 cents will go for a drive along the breach with the rest of his team.
And they're going for that nice leisurely summer drive, but there is still going to be the presence of Cerberus up ahead at Ferry Pier. So they're going to have to be a little bit mindful, but they are already getting out of the vehicles. But yeah, Basil, I'm not sure whether he's actually running in response or, yeah, this is our strategy the whole time. I meant to not run away, but just strategically relocate myself instead.
Yep, and Cerberus getting moving away means that this time day trade they are completely boxed on a lone island. They actually don't have much place to go to. They are in pretty sticky situation. Venatica is completely isolated, so he could be the remaining survivor at the end of this. But Cerberus Esports now engaging in combat with day trade. Couple of headshots through the helmet. But HusKKiee wants to confirm the kill. Has to play pretty carefully though. 4 members strong from Cerberus as the circle closes on towards the north side. A lot of teams still stranded outside the danger zone as Subang were able to get that bang onto Mighty. Flash gets taken out by Basil as well. As day trade will end up losing 2 of these members as Venatica is just way too far away from his teammates.
Basil coming up over the top on the roof there, peeking down on him. That was an awesome sight to behold there. And yeah, you know you're in trouble if you're on the wrong end of that one. But now Division X Gaming, having withdrawn already from Ferry Pier, already locating themselves here on this small little patch there, so they can overlook as much as they can. This is going to give them tons of vision. They just have to be careful of other teams that are going to be on that same spit there. But again, it's still going to be a lot of space to work with. We're seeing only those long rotations all the way on the north side. Atletico still in motion. And Divine Esports seemingly very quiet here. They've been swimming for a little bit here. They're going to finally get a pickup from Turtle. And yeah, on the back of his shell or something, you know, so they're going to be able to get into a little bit of a better spot.
This might just come and bite Creatory Esports in the back for letting all 4 members of Divine Esports get through the bridge without dealing significant damage. Probably a bit of bullet holes and 1 destroyed car, but that's pretty much it. So Divine Esports will repay that gratitude pretty soon as they finally hit dry land on the edge of that circle on shoreline, where most of the teams have already moved on from.
And Division X Gaming really not resting on their laurels. They're going to continue traversing across here in force. And yeah, with the 4 vehicles, that's going to allow them to have the most risk-free travel that they have to try and execute right now. But now, it seems to be Creatory trying to move across the bridge here, not able to take too much more damage there. Maxonus unloading there, but they're going to be able to get out. They're trying to approach 6x right now. He's going to be the only player here from Golden Cat up there, but there's still going to be the covering fire from on the other side here. But he's going to go inside the small room, evade those frag grenades, but that's pretty much going to corral them all together. Maxonus coming in for the save. IQ 500 though is going to get taken down, and Juiz actually is going to be down for the count as well.
Yeah, and I think Golden Cat, they've laid out the perfect shock bait. The rest of Creatory Esports, they are now boxed in. Nowhere for them to go as 6x will now come in to be the cleanup crew. Casto will be on the 2nd floor as Maxonus will knock down Reality. This is just going to be a total annihilation. Maxonus will take out Castel as well. This is Creatory Esports only 1405 now, somehow being the lone survivor for the team instead of being the first one to go down, as GC will just take wherever they can. But Tom K has something else to say about that. Creatory Esports will be wiped out as the first team to be eliminated in match 3.
Okay, so it does look as though that they are the first for something in this particular match, but it's just not 1405 by himself. But now it does look like Golden Cat, with that, they're going to be having that control right now. They only have lost 1 of those players in this game so far, so that's going to be working well in their favor. But this focus always on these Gatka planes here is always such a difficult proposition. There's just so little cover. You're pretty much going to have to go for these kind of plays that you see Division X Gaming. They're going for these indestructible huts, which pretty much is going to be the only kind of hard cover that you can potentially get. And all you can try and do is try and discourage enough people from going there. We see Atletico disembark from their vehicle. They're trying to hold the spot here as they're getting a little bit of pressure from Phoenix Gaming. And their hut is kind of porous, I can tell you that.
Yep, and Atletico probably didn't see Phoenix Gaming from the beginning. Now they are locked in combat. Kush will be directly engaged with Extreme. But Atletico, at least they have a better structure integrity in their to take shelter in. As for Phoenix Gaming, not so much.
Yeah, the Phoenix Gaming players are pretty much going to have to live by their guns with the pressure, but now Ferox here is taking pressure from their fellow Australians there, as Fury is trying to make things a little bit awkward for them. As Ferox, they only did lose Sweet Soul a little bit earlier on in the early game here, but it does look like Killa off-screen here is going to be able to knock down Konaxi, so getting something going here for Archangel, as they just haven't got things going in those first two. They already lost CJ in this round, as now things are getting very close and personal here, as both Fury and Ferox are trying to use the terrain against each other, but currently Ferox might be able to get the flanking maneuver here, but they're not actually going to be able to spot them out, and there's two quick knocks there. There's only going to be Cozy getting one down, but now there's only going to be Nikos, who has to try and run away. He's got very little HP, but Fury, they managed to get one up over there down under Brethren's.
Yep, and Ferox, Nico eventually got picked up by Long K, so Division S Gaming will be the one to clean up the dirty mess. And there goes Ferox. Unfortunately, they were just caught in a horrible position, taken out by Fury Esports at the end of the day. As now it's going to be Buriram United. They're being tracked by Minoru. Myth has a pretty good line of sight of where these people are. He's not pulling the trigger just yet. Minoru being pretty patient. And now here comes the pot shots onto the truck. Hoping to find some kills. Getting those shots out. Minoru not able to quite connect the necessary ones. So Buriram United able to get out of a dangerous position. But meanwhile, Maxon is going to be engaged with HusKKiee. But he'll be Venatica knocking out HusKKiee actually. And Exonus will be thrown down in that smoke grenade to heal back up, but utilities are flying out. There's the grenade. Bezo behind the rod's gonna pop himself and take shots in the back. Unfortunately, not able to retaliate in any manner. It's gonna be a rush immediately from Exonus, but Subang from Cerberus will turn it around. It's gonna be 6 stacks though, cleaning up the job, finishing what Cerberus, finishing up what Golden Cat started, and they eliminate Cerberus.
Nice double kill coming out from 6 stacks to save his squad there, and Cerberus down for the count. Buriram as well going to be following suit here after the altercation with Divine Esports there on that northeastern side. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Mad Dog going to be absolutely smacked there by their nade, and Insight peeking out over the top. Archangel is going to get finished off as Ronan puts that finishing touches there onto Killa, as now Fury gets a little bit of breathing room to try and reset things a little bit. Now, Divine doesn't really have a lot of competition now on that northeastern side. If they try and haul ass, they could definitely do something, but they are just going to, right now, just prioritize getting inside the zone, see if they can climb that high ground that Fury is going to be still trying to control to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and unfortunately, McDonald's had a good run, but he was eventually taken down by a grenade. And Fury Australia, they're on the roll as Tony will eliminate 6 stacks. Golden Cat not really having a good time as Myth now will let it rip onto Division S Gaming. They're completely trapped. 19 stacks and Subpow are taken out. Division S Gaming now down to 2 members as Minoru barely dodging the Green Reaper. He will banish himself up inside, getting another shot onto Nikki, and he will finish him off. That is the 8th kill for Fury Australia in this round, but they're not done yet. Levi is now taken down, as VTF will finally eliminate Ronan from the equation.
Turtle gonna try and get across, see if he can get Levi's up here, but it is gonna be really difficult. Joxy, I don't think, is in a position here to really help his friend. He's actually gonna be continuing to put the pressure here on the Mon, but Mon has got pressure from all angles here, so he's gonna have to step in line. Joxy doesn't get him, Gems will, and now it's gonna be Phoenix Gaming still trying to lock things down. We've seemingly seen them in this spot for ages here. Vanotica is gonna get taken out by the nade. Inch perfect there for Anquan.
And Honboya will again knock Levis down for the 2nd time, as this guy has been eating a bit too much lead from the other squads this round. But Atletico now, they are going to slowly zoom in, and here comes the grenade right on top of Greeny. They want to take down the hard Molotovs out as well. Kush and Dr. Logi. Dr. Logi down. Kush and Hongyo will be the only 2 survivors, but Atletico knows they have the advantage. They're gonna just keep lobbing those grenades, flashbangs as well. But Atletico, they're getting ambushed. QC from downtown is going to take out Fluid. Jokesy will be taken out by Myth off screen, but Atletico will still want to finish what they started. Hong for this will finally be killed off. And it's going to be Zoid made to eliminate the entire squad of Phoenix Gaming.
Atletico will not be denied. They absolutely push forward with ferocity, and Phoenix Gaming a little bit too passive there, and they're going to be befallen by the amount of utility tossed at them by the Australians. But now with this zone, it is going to be Division X still having that control on the center side. Now they did lose a bit of their squad strength not too long ago, but they're still going to be in a good standing, and really this is the kind of consistency that you're going to have to need. They've been getting some good points, and that's currently why they're near the top of the table, but currently not quite leading. They are tied with Myth based on the current positioning here, and Myth got a good chance here of getting some more points. They got the full squad, so does the members here of QC4 Horsemen, and they're all vying for that control. Golden Cat, again, not going to be getting any more points in this round, even though they have 28 to their name.
Yeah, and QC has been particularly quiet in this match as well. Most of the kills for them are kind of just from the kill feed off screen, but not much confirmed. They are only sitting at 25, so from round 2, they haven't gotten much progress. But Ducksmans now is going to make some for his team, as Anquan will be taken down and taken out. Meanwhile, JJ Liu will be limited by both the collective effort of NBK and Long K. So Division X Gaming, now with 28 total points, they are tied up with Myth. This is going to be a really tight tug of war. Duckmans will be holding that single angle against 2 members of DIC.
DIC Gaming, though, can't afford to stay here too much longer. They are going to be taking some serious damage here. And look, Division X is completely waiting to try and deal a little bit more, you know. I mean, you might as well get a little bit more interest and bang for your buck. But they are just going to be hanging out there. It looks as though they will be trying to deny the points there. But we will see Duckmans still able to claim at least 1 kill. Tony is going to bleed out. And now we're going to be down to our top 4. QC4 Horsemen does have the dominance on the northern side, and they got a lot of breathing room here. As you can see that they're starting to spread out, get as much vision as they can, and really just try and discourage other teams from trying to go prone on their side of the semicircle here, and just make sure that they can at least exact more pressure on themselves. Then they're going to have quite a bit of a shooting gallery open for them.
Yep, and it's going to be QC now, literally in an open paddy field, but it's not too much threat to them. Most of the teams have kind of made their way into the center, but you can look at this circle. This is just open warfare. Not much place to hide other than proning with hopefully with a ghillie suit, but the gods have answered QC's favor. The 4 horsemen will now have the best spot currently in this situation.
It's going to be Myth, who still has a quite good position here, despite not all being inside the zone, to really make sure the others don't get in there. Atletico, they are so far out here, and already Division X Gaming, well, they're not even safe themselves. They're looking to put pressure on the Australians right now, but it does look like Minoru and as Lucia is going to be over here on the southern side. They can still put that pressure onto Division X Gaming themselves, but now looks like Atletico have made the final push here. They're going to be trying to lower the vehicle as much as they can to be some nice permanent cover for them to sustain into the later stages.
Atletico, they're just treading the thin line right now, but it's going to be Duckmans seeing QC. Unfortunately, QC now only realizing that, you know, Golden Cat are around. Joeman would take a Linksy, and NBK actually steals that away, unfortunately. As Zoidmate will take down NBK, but Long K will knock out Zoidmate in return. This is just return fragging, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Atletico to finish the job. And there goes Division X Gaming. Their run ends in match number 3.
Yeah, things getting absolutely grindy here towards the end as we're down to our top 3 teams, and it is pretty much going to be a very tight affair. There's still going to be that small presence from Atletico, but they've got really quite a bit of a mountain to deal with. 2 4-man squads here, and this currently is still going to very much come down to how this final circle is going to look and who can get a first pick here. I think, like we saw a bit earlier, Spit did actually take a hunk of damage there just by jumping up and down. But again, this is the kind of actions that you need to have in these later stages. Look at this kind of terrain. It is an absolute nightmare to try and sift through all of this. But Myth, they've got an ace in their pocket in the form of that Dacia, so they can start to reposition it how they see fit. They can actually use it to try and close some of the distance here on one of the flanks, and even really just make it difficult for these teams who want to go for too much of a prone play. And I think they're going to pretty much have to use this vehicle looking at this terrain.
Yep, exactly. And you can see Extreme, he's just slowly proning his way. Needs to find another haystack that's within that circle. And so far, he is out of the crosshairs of QC. They're not able to really see him. Focus right now is on to Myth. Both QC and Myth have all 4 members alive. And Extreme managing to find himself a car to prone down, and doesn't really need to intervene in any gunfights unless he is absolutely forced to. So it's just the waiting game for Atletico.
Yeah, just going to be a big nope for him. He's just going to continue to observe and eat the popcorn. But of course, these last two full squad teams need to actually engage a little bit here. But they're not in a rush. Myth is trying to weigh up their options. They still don't have a full picture of all the positioning from 4 Horsemen. They know the general trajectory here. But now, Gems here, unloading. Not going to be having too much cover. Just going to be visibility that's restricted here. But it looks like Minoru is going to get taken down there by Jayers. But there's going to be a little bit of a trade here. As Dogman's going to be able to get him back. They're going to try and move in here. They're still going to be going for the res here. So they're really expending a bit of resources for this. Gems here is going to go down. Extreme is going to be the backstabber here. But he's going to get spotted out by the last two.
Oh.
But Joe Man going down as well. Extreme is going to the ends of the world here to make life difficult for the Thai squad.
If Atletico can have it, no one can. In Extreme, he's still pretty much alive now. QC, they really want to fish him up, but they don't know where he is. Caught within the engage with Myth, and at the end, it's going to be QC eliminated. And Atletico Extreme managing to contribute to some of that. Now he is up against 3 members of Myth. There might be a chance, a really slim chance, but he has secured his team at least a 2nd place finish.
And Extreme really being the absolute thorn in the side there for QC4 Horsemen, as there's a reverse apocalypse here. 9 kills for Myth. They are looking for more. 8 as well for Atletico. They've been having a great game here, as this is really going to help bounce them back up the standings before we head into the Miramar segments of today's matches. But now Extreme, he's going to be all the way here on the edge. Dogman's holding that angle there. He is going to, or rather that position, where he's going to be able to cut off big sections here of the terrain. But Extreme is going to get spotted out here. He's revealed his position already. He's going to have to be insanely lucky here. Not to say that he's not skillful, but this is a tall order. You got 3 members of Myth here all getting into better positions here to get whatever angles that they can. They are not looking to showboat here. They are looking to seal the deal here. They want to take that first spot, and they're going to be able to take that chicken dinner here. They're first of the competition, but they're going to, again, get 2 games in a row here with the kills into double digits.
Yeah, and Myth, just absolutely stellar performance. QC were on a comeback, on a comeback trajectory, but Extreme just put that to sleep by intervening. That is, the unfortunate byproduct of not finishing off Atletico. But now Myth comfortably sitting on the top of the table.
Yeah, and they're going to be really happy with that success there. Division X definitely not doing as well as they had hoped. They need to have like one of these breakout performances, but so far Myth in 2 rounds in a row has been quite consistent, and it'll be interesting to see how much more of a berth that they can have. We've been seeing that a lot of competition from all across the board here has been making things absolutely interesting for the rest of us, and we know that there's still a lot of these teams which have not shown up yet, but we know that they can explode at any time. Divine Esports, Archangel Predator. Can't wait to see how these guys are going to be doing when we hit Miramar. And Miramar we will see in a short while. As we take a short break here, we will go and see how match number 4 is going to be panning out.
I'm going to die. With still having the main island having a little bit of control on there, a couple of these guys can make their way through, and he'll find himself getting knocked from.
It's really interesting because, yeah, actually, like, the Team Liquid guys, super nice dudes. A grenade up to Highwind. Highwind, the hero, but right on top of him.
来看一下这边3名成员不比推进面对 Harry 的架枪，这里打第1支、第2支、第2支、第3支，连串漂亮。
He's gonna have to work his way forward. They're next to each other. He's actually just gone around him. Gaxi, turn around. He's behind you. They have no idea how close they are right now. Gaxi is a centimeter away, and inch by inch they walk forward in unison. Ghostar just came out of the smoke. He has no idea that Ghostar is still behind him. Both prone. Ghostar's in the blue. Oh my god, he might go down.
Let's see Ghostar, but it's not quite enough. K-Man gets him down. K-Man goes for Fuzz. Fuzz forced to go down. He's going to stick to the spray. He's got no bullets left. Mini Fountain. Oh my word.
とそしてリラックスストーリー特殊部隊サンシスターを沈めに参ります。ケンです下手投げグレネード一旦今回出て当たってるさあどこのダウン裏回って降りて外側1人目ダウン3人目いけるか3人目ああ全部取れるか倒した
So many teams now piling up from the south. T-Bone. Oh my word, T-Bone's right next to them. He's gonna fly.
Gonna be coming right here, and Woody is just waiting, and there we have it.
5시 지역, 서클의 5시 지역에 붙어있는 두 팀인데
위키드가 욕심이 좀 많아요. 봤어요. 인디고 맞고.
네.
Arena, I guess you would call it. Tagged up once, tags up 2. Secure this entire side of the circle, finds the third, what a hell! Oversprayed. Dropped over the roof, it's gonna bounce up and over. Somehow no kill confirmed on that one either. They don't know about Iroh's position. They have no idea that there's one inside. That one's gonna bounce up and over and take him down. He's gonna have to hop off the roof. Vard is tagged up. Vard finds one more. Great shooting. Molotov's thrown forward now as well. Now they have to back off and run the hell out of here. Iroh finds one, and that's the third kill.
不要慌，当然还是得看后续。哇，飞起来了，被空寨了。
Imaju lijepu poziciju ovdje, Marv radi dosta damage-a, međutim neće on moći ovo vjerojatno preživjeti. Kakav!
Molotov down as well. Spots one buzz face. Takes one to the face, falls down immediately after 20 bullets left. Get this. Tried to stay alive and no Molotov yourself, and now he jumps off. Can't just AC res and a healing, and he gets him! 2 straight on through. Full wide. I think. Valius. Oopsie doopsie. There's a lot of flashbang. What? How much do you want to ruin his eyes? Stop throwing flashbangs, guys! That's 7 flashbangs. They threw flashing orange. Orange finds one. He's gonna go down and return, but at one.
하니까 체력이 너무 없다. 바로 내려. 흰치
숨은 쉬어야죠. 그쵸?
오시면 못 줘도 커피는 주고 싶네요.
케이치!
As I'm going to die. With still having the main island having a little bit of control on there, a couple of these guys can make their way through and find himself getting knocked from.
It's really interesting because, yeah, actually, like, the Team Liquid guys, super nice dudes. A grenade up to HusKKiee. HusKKii's a hero, though, right? On top of him.
来看一下这边三名成员不明推进面对 Harry 的架枪，直接打第一支、第二支、第二支、第三支，连串漂亮。
Well, he's gonna have to work his way forward. They're next to each other. He's actually just gone around him. Gaxi, turn around. He's behind you. They have no idea how close they are right now. Gaxi is a centimeter away, and inch by inch they walk forward in unison. Ghoststar just came out of the smoke. He has no idea that Ghoststar is still behind him. Prone. Ghoststar's in the boom! Oh my god, he might go down!
Ghoststar, but it's not quite enough. K-Man gets him down. K-Man goes for Fuzz. Fuzz forced to go down. He's going to stick to the spray. He's got no bullets left. Mini falls in. Oh my word!
とそしてリラックス取り特殊部隊サンシスターを沈めに参ります。ケンです下手投げグレネード一旦効果出て当たってるツードットのダウン裏回って降りて外側1人目ダウン3人目いけるか3人目ああセーフ取れるか倒して倒した
So many teams now piling up from the south. T-Bone. Oh my word, T-Bone's right next to them. He's gonna fly.
Gonna be coming right here, and we're just waiting, and there we have it.
5시 지역, 서클의 5시 지역에 붙어있는 두 팀인데
위키드가 욕심이 좀 많아요. 봤어요. 인디고 맞고.
네.
Arena, I guess you would call it. Tagged up once, tags up two. Secure this entire side of the circle, finds the third, what a hell! Oversprayed. Rubbed over the roof, it's gonna bounce up and over. Somehow no kill confirmed on that one either. They don't know about Iroh's position. They have no idea that there's one inside. That one's gonna bounce up and over and take him down. He's gonna have to hop off the roof. Vard is tagged up. Vard finds one more. Great shooting. Molotov's thrown forward now as well. Now they have to back off and run the hell out of here. Iroh finds one, and that's the third kill.
不要慌，当然还是得看后续。哇，飞起来了，被空摘了。
Imaju lijepu poziciju ovdje, Marv radi dosta damage-a, međutim neće on moći ovo vjerojatno preživjeti. Kako?
Molotov down as well. Spots one bus face. Takes one to the face, falls down immediately after 20 bullets left. Gets the miss. Tried to stay alive and don't Molotov yourself, and now he jumps off. Catches AC Res and a healing, and he gets him. 2v.
PUBG Sports fans, I'm your PUBG Sports guide, Annie, and I'm here again with Paper Thin.
Hey guys, what's up? Paper Thin here, excited to be back for another episode of the PUBG Esports News Show.
So today we're going to talk about the upcoming PUBG Continental Series Charity Showdown.
Yeah, exactly. These are the events that all of you fans and players at home have been looking forward to. Top tier international PUBG competition is happening again.
So I'll briefly explain what the PCS Charity Showdown will look like, from organization to schedule. PUBG Continental Series Charity Showdown is a series of global events happening in May 14th through May 31st. Teams from each region will compete for $200,000, with $100,000 of that pot being donated to a charity of.
And welcome back to the PCS Charity Showdown. This is the first day of a long 4-day stretch where 60 of the best teams in APAC will duke it out to see who is the best, with $100,000 on the line and another $100,000 for the charity of their choice. I'm HusKKiee and I'm joined by Play of the J.
Thank you so much, HusKKiee. And yeah, we've had 3 action-packed rounds on Erangel so far. And let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at the scores from that previous round. Myth going ham on the competition, 10 kills, and the chicken dinner is going to yield them that 20 points. And that's going to really be doing them a big solid here in terms of the overall standings. Atletico getting their best performance so far here, going to get 14 points, and they're going to be pretty pleased with that one, especially since Extreme came up with such important plays there right at the end, and that was arguably quite the thorn in QC4 Horsemen's side, and they reduced them down to only 2 Horsemen in that final battle.
Yeah, and in QC4 Horsemen, they were looking for redemption in that third match, but intervention from Atletico kind of stopped them in their tracks. Unfortunately, for Divine Esports, they managed to dodge the bullets of Creatory Esports at the bridge during the first circle, but were not able to make too much use of that. They still got wiped towards the later stages. Creatory Esports themselves, instead of 1405 being taken out first, they got wiped out first after Team Ferox, I believe. So these 2 teams are still struggling to find their footing across these 3 matches.
But Division X Gaming, they come in 3rd here for the 3rd time in a row here. So they are on a roll, but of course it's still tied with 4 Horsemen, 10 points apiece there. And things like really dicey here in this match number 3. But let's take a look at how things look now in our overall leaderboard. So we're going to be having Myth sitting pretty as they open up that 8-point gap there after they've been having 2 successive big games there. Division X is going to be falling down into 2nd here as they didn't get as much as they would have liked. QC4 Horsemen going to be rounding out the top 3.
Yeah, the Thailand powerhouses are leading the chart, but Division S Gaming seems to be the gatekeeper right now in top 3. They could very well take over Myth. They've already stopped QC4 Horsemen in the tracks 2 times, and their performance has been consistent throughout all these 3 matches. Always top 5 finishes, sometimes getting top 3, and but that is on Erangel, right? Miramas might be different for some of these teams, so we'll see if Division S Gaming can continue this momentum until the end of the day.
And Australia are doing pretty well as well through Fury and Atletico, both getting into the top 6 positions after getting some decent games under the belt here. So they're going to be pretty pleased with that. Buriram, though, despite the fact that they did get the chicken dinner, though, they're still languishing in that 7th place as there's quite a lot of Vietnamese teams here still in the second half of the table. We'll see if they can pick things up here as we move on to our Miramar segment. And there's still plenty of opportunities for these teams to really jump back, but they just have to try and make sure that they can manage the gap a little bit. Or if they've not been having a good first 3 rounds, they just need to try and close out the day a bit stronger. Just get at least maybe 1 or 2 solid results here, something that they can continue to build on. Because unlike your standard PUBG tournament, I mean, like we always talk about this kind of stuff, but this one even more so because you actually have a few days break in between each of the competitions. Usually it's day after day after day of competition, but now they have a chance to really reset things here. But at the very least, if they get something on the board, they're not going to feel too disheartened when they start their preparation for Saturday's games.
Yeah, especially I think for Archangel Predator as well. Game 1 we saw them probably match 1 was their best performance. Match 2 was they kind of flopped a bit, but the previous match they kind of got massacred in the early stages. They were not able to put much points on the plate. The Filipino team in this charity showdown as well. But hopefully they can bounce back off of that, because we kind of have a lot of expectations for this team coming into this charity showdown. They just were not able to perform up to par so far.
Yeah, but if we know Archangel, they can definitely bounce back when it's absolutely needed, and they're going to be able to deliver on the performance. So again, they're going to see how they fare on the Miramar segment. We're almost ready here to jump into our next game, but I think looking at this, Myth has been quite methodical. They have been taking their engagements very carefully and making sure that they strike at the right moment. I think that's been kind of the hallmark of their solid performances in matches 2 and 3 so far. Of course, it's still early days, but this is looking a little bit like the Myth of old. Myth and Division X are both teams that have been invited here rather than being the top 4, top 5 of their respective leagues or qualifying for PCS Berlin, for example. So they are both showing that they deserve to be here despite coming through invitation. So we're going to be starting off match number 4 now, as we're going to be traveling all the way down up from La Cabrera all the way down south.
Yep, from the greenery to the sandy desert. This is where the last 2 matches will be held. As we are flying down south, a very early drop from one of the squads as well. But you can see Phoenix Gaming in particular, this past 2 matches have been able to kind of hold themselves up in pretty safe locations and find shelter within the circle up to the very last point. The match 2 was kind of the game where Phoenix Gaming had such a good footing, but were not able to hold on to it. Match 3 was they kind of got caught out, but we'll see how that changes in Miramar. As 2 squads drop on a power grid, it's going to be Myth and DIC, and immediately Darkmans opens it up onto Tony, and goodbye. 30 seconds in, there goes Tony into the grave.
Wow, the mid-air shot there from Duckmans, the former Armory Gaming player, really showing who's boss here. But this is what it's all about when you have these hot drop scenarios. You want to have power grid in your strategy, you have to lay down the law, and that is exactly what Myth is doing here through Duckmans. They're going to continue looting up here. DIC Gaming going to be forced into a very uncomfortable position. They're still trying to grab whatever loot that they can here, as they're going to be on that southern side of the complex. But more often than not, I think we're going to see both of these teams just try and disengage. I think after all that early excitement, they're not willing to gamble the rest of this particular round on that one altercation.
DIC Gaming immediately giving the entire power grid over to Myth. They got the message, after that first encounter and that first casualty. DIC want no part of that altercation.
4 horsemen still going to be looting up around the graveyard, and Minos Generale's side of things are going to be relatively spaced out. But again, we're going to see if they can continue onwards. After a very promising first game, QC4 Horsemen dropping down to that 3rd place, but currently it's still going to be within reach here. They've got quite a number of kills. They've shown that, with the kind of teams that they're facing here, they're pretty well suited for really taking quite a lot of names. But right now we're going to have our sole Indonesian team. They're going to be playing here on the side of San Martin. So Victim from the future, they've had a very mixed bag of engagements. I think we haven't really seen anything too decisive from them. So they're going to have to see if they can get something going. I think the most memorable one was where we saw that it was down to Sapao versus Entry Fragger battling under the bridge there in King of Trolls battle.
Unfortunately, it was Sapao who came out on top. Victim from the future so far has just been a side character in all this dramas and gunfights where they were just there, but they're not really there. They get wiped out off screen. I think yeah, the most memorable moment was just them holding the bridge for the longest time ever. But other than that, Victim from the Future is still kind of in the shadows. Divine Esports, though, they have made a bit of mark, but not significant enough to kind of put them on the radar. Especially that match 3, that previous match where they were given so much leeway but not able to capitalize on it.
Divine Esports, they have yet to show up so far for this particular event, and yeah, I think, you know, traditionally being one of the powerhouse teams from Vietnam, you know, it's a bit strange to see them not getting enough consistent results. I think, like, when we saw them play at the PSSC, they didn't quite turn out as we've seen them conquer in the past. And last year, when we saw the competitive cycle introduced, they were the first to win the first competitive cycle for Southeast Asia, qualifying for Face It Global. But look at 14:05. No luck.
Not
it
again.
seems.
No, not again. This is going to be the 3rd time that he dies during the first phase, and this is not looking good. Fury Australia are literally swarming the building, and Venatica will be taken out meanwhile by Coats, as Honboya would take out Teddy, finish him off, gets the job done. But well, Victor from the Future, they actually ambush mid. They take out 2 of them. Escalucia and Honboya will be eliminated from the equation.
Wow, the leaders here are up against the wall. 14:05 meets an unfortunate end yet again in the early game, and Ronan is going to not be too obliging or being rather too pitiful in this particular round. But from the Future, going to be pretty happy about that one here. So Myth are going to have to sit down to a certain extent. They are still in this, but they have taken some serious losses. And I think they're at, what, 50% of their squad strength? If we have, of course, 2 kills going to RDK Boss and Mun from the Future.
Yeah, and then an unexpected turn of event now. Myth down to two members. Have to kind of be a bit more conservative, but look at this replay as Arcade Japan engaged in a gunfight with Daytrade. Kao just winning that convincingly towards Venatica, but Daytrade now having the high ground advantage. They are locked. They're locking horns with Archangel Predator.
And they're going to be a little bit spaced out. Killa's going to be further down the road. There's only Calbs and CJ. Mad Dog nowhere to be seen. Now, there is still going to be this pressure here on Victim from the Future, but it's going to be from Ferox, as they're going to be watching from this high ground. Victim, I'm not sure that they really need to move around too much. It's just whether or not you do a lot of looting here. But oh, look at that. The Myth player getting spotted out.
Yep. And this is not good for Myth at all. They are completely out in the open. You have Victim from the Future watching them. Ferox also scouted them out as well with the long scope. And Ferox in particular has not had any. I believe they're still sitting at like 0 points at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, so Ferox, if they're looking for something in this game, any points will do, any kills will definitely give them a morale boost. Cozy would open up, but on the tires of the vehicle, but that will give away his position to a Victim from the Future.
Yeah, I think they kind of realize that maybe they have to be a little bit more proactive about their play. As he said, just to get any point on the board would be great for Ferox right now, as they need whatever boost that they can get. Even because 0 points means that, yeah, no frags as well on the board so far, but they're going to be opening up. Some teams, they come alive in Miramar just because of how, of course, different the terrain is going to be and everything. But Phoenix here under pressure as well, as Ferox is not going to leave any stone unturned. And I think that Dr. Logi, oh, he's lucky his vehicle didn't roll down.
Yeah, and Ferox has been taking a couple of tires. It did cripple the means of transport for Victim from the Future. Took out 1 truck for Phoenix Gaming as well, but luckily Phoenix Gaming still has another truck that is in good condition to drive away, so they are not really that really threatened. But Grumps is gonna take a few shots of his own, not gonna land them though. Phoenix Gaming still pretty much on the safe side. Dr. Logi will be able to drive away safely.
Yeah, he's going to be repositioning up with the rest of his teammates there on the top of the hill, get into all of these better spots. Ferox currently going to be just exerting a lot of pressure from the top here. They don't want anyone to come down there. But Sweet Soul is actually going to be moving around a little bit more. Going to actually be scouting new pastures here. Myth is actually going to still be hiding out over. Well, I say still. Actually, they are just hiding out here on that north side of Power Grid after, of course, 2 of their members tried to stray a little bit too close to the sun, it would seem. They got expired. But now we're going to see how Phase 2 is going to shift things. It's moving all the way to the western side.
Yep, this is going to get pretty interesting. You can see most of the teams are now just scrambling to get into the circle, but it's going to be an absolute bloodbath because they are all within close proximity of each other. Myth had a really strong start, Darkman with his warning shot, but they got a taste of their own medicine. 2 foes, twice as hard from Victim from the Future, and it's going to be Phoenix Gaming still 4-man strong. The other ones who I think so far are kind of untouched and comfortable as Cerberus will be spotted out by Division X Gaming. Basil will have to make a U-turn away.
Division X Gaming really going for more proactive, aggressive plays here. They're actually getting out of the vehicles after they were mid-rotation just to take some shots there at Cerberus. And as a result, Sapao and company is going to go and meet up once again here at the gas station as thinking, yeah, let's just sit put here a little bit more. There's going to be a lot of rotations coming in here. This could be a good chance to them to landing some secure shots. Might not be able to get any kills, but again, it's just that combined factor that they know that everyone else is going to be weighing in on that if they can. And honestly, most of these teams are prepared to try and constrict these teams. Otherwise, why else are we going to be having this kind of strategy where we're piling in, getting all these central locations, but we're not exerting that kind of influence on the surrounding teams.
That is going to be now Day Trade in conflict with Fury Australia. Unfortunately, Flash unable to land too much shot. Actually, he missed all his shots inside. Just drives away to safety along with the rest of the Australian squad. So that leaves Day Trade completely uncontested in that area. But Fury Australia will make their way towards the edge of the circle. It's going to play by the main road for now, as we now look at QC in proximity of Atletico.
Oh, and Zoidmate coming out over the top at the right time. He's going to catch out Spit. That is so unlucky, but he could not have known. Gems here is going to try and help his teammate, but he's a bit too far away to really influence things. But he's still going to be dashing over there in a flash. Flood is trying to get whatever long-range cover that he can. Same with Lynxy, while Zoidmate and X-Streep hold the fort down and loot up.
Yeah, and that is very unfortunate for QC4 Horsemen. They had a pretty good shelter, but that's not completely lost. Atletico catching Swift mid jump. Meanwhile, Division X Gaming will lose 1, and they will immediately get taken out by Archangel Predator. The entire truck goes out in flames. Same with their dreams for round 4.
And they evaporate in an instant as that's a little bit risky. They're all in the same vehicle here. Fury taking fire now from Flash as Day Trade trying to also do the same. But there is going to still be presence here. Fury will try and get into a better position here. But there's only going to be that sole tie player here that can influence things. But he's going to try and land the shots here. And he might be able to do it. He does it. It doesn't look like Kika Muchao is actually going to be eating the dirt.
He's desperately trying to crawl to safety, but he is out in the open. It's not going to be long until Flash finds him and finish him off. But Gems, he gets taken out by a Darkman's Flash. Actually turns around. He kills off Ikabuka. Fury not able to save that member. But now it's just going to be Darkman's able to return fire off screen just now onto QC4 Horsemen. We're down to Jace and Joman. Atletico still 4-man strong, now taking shots down from the mountains as Joman will take out, would knock down Zoidmate, but JS is also kind of in a pinch, forced to take those painkillers and take a chill pill for now.
It's got all the Atletico players all scrambling on the side of the hill. He has to be really careful. There's only him and Joman that's left, of course, to continue on in this fight, but there is still going to be enough cover. He does have the topography in his favor as well, but now we're having From the Future having traversed here to Monte Nuevo does have a little bit of presence from Golden Cat, but now Atletico starting to push up the hill. They're getting third party from another side. Jayers going to be taking down one as he's going to be shutting down Extreme. He's got two more of them moving in behind, but there's going to be enough coverage for the time being. Joe Man going to be doing what he can. Jayers going to finish off Extreme, and now it does look like increasingly difficult for Atletico, but just as I say that, Joe Man is going to get taken down, but only for Duckmans to steal the kill.
Oh, but that would definitely cripple QC. They're down to Jayus. And Jayus is not even in the circle. He is actually trapped outside, so completely stranded in the open. He has to make something happen. Linksy able to take a bit of risk. That grenade just do a bit of sharp no damage onto Jayus, as Anquan from afar will be able to take down Flood. Unfortunately for Atletico, they're dealing with more than just one nemesis, and they've kind of paid the price with one of their members. Minoru will be down by JJ Leo, as now we're looking at Linksys against Jayus, who is prone now on the low ground, as Jayus waits for that 1v1 confrontation with Linksy.
Both of these guys, they're tanking blue damage right now, and really just know that there has to still be presence from the other players still in this area. But of course, Zoidmate is still going to be closer towards the zone here. Linksy here is just really just holding down the fort as best he can. Well, his teammate is going to secure a little bit of a better future than, you know, both of them trying to hunt down Jayers. But QC4 Horsemen, this is potentially them going out really early here in this game. There is no other player to secure that kind of berth.
Yeah, the front runners are actually being taken out. Now, Myth lost Minoru, so they're also down to one last member, as Linksy dangerously close to Jay. As he sees Jay, he opens fire, but can he take him out? Yes, he can! And there goes the 4 Horsemen, QC 4 Horsemen, down to, actually knocked out the third place. Unfortunately, won't be so lucky this time. Linksy might even be able to get out of this. He finds himself a bike, heals up, and he's gonna drive into safety.
Oh, it doesn't look good. He's got a long way to go. He's only got one medkit left, but oh, looking at the shot, Zoidmate is going to get taken down there by 74L1. DIC Gaming could get that point there on the board pretty soon. If they lose, or rather the other player goes out, Linksy falls off the bike, and that is it. Atletico is out for the count. But look at those shots coming in there. DIC Gang also going out early here, as Archangel not going to be doing them any favors, as they're looking to bounce back. Currently, they have still got all of their players, and as you said, all of the top teams, they have been losing a lot of their players. This is a chance for these teams to really bounce back.
Yep, and if you are Fury Australia, this is the perfect chance for you to get yourself a lead. If you're Buriram United, this is a chance for you to get a lead. Unfortunately, Cerberus, they lose 2 members as well. Bad guy and Subang, not so lucky if down to the blue zone, as everyone caught out by the circle, who we saw just constricted towards the west side, forcing everyone to who are not in the safe zone to take gunfights and take a really big risk. Archangel Predator, they have finally woken up and made some of the teams their prey, and this might be a chance. Now they're sitting at a total rank of 16 points in 9th place. Same with Cerberus, and they can catch up to DIC, who already have been eliminated.
Right now, you can see Duckmans was showing off his best survivalist skills right now, but we'll see if they can continue towards the end. Buriram United in the sights here of HusKKiee, but he's going to get spotted out by Mad Dog. He is unloading. 7 kills for Archangel. They're looking for more, but Buriram is going to be aware of his presence. Oh no, they're not.
Behind.
Oh, Hadra is going to spot him out. Just the right order by HusKKiee is going to take down one, but not the second.
Oh, HusKKiee could have caused major damage if he killed off Nodra, but unfortunately, didn't really have the enough ammunition. Snuck up from behind, open fire. He did his best, but that is all for Cerberus Esports for match number 4. Buriram surviving that very dangerous confrontation. So still 4 men strong. Same with Archangel, who are now moving closer and closer to that circle. They already have control of the edge. Just waiting for Buriram to kind of flood right in.
Right now, Monte Nuevo being absolutely packed here. Too many teams really trying to stuff themselves into places they have no business being. But right now, Buriram United trying to come down from the hill. Noradra actually going to get finished off by Meiti straight away. Now, Mad Dog is also going to be executing a little bit of extreme prejudice right now towards the Thai team. God Meow moving in with the zone. Doesn't have a lot that he can do. There's no cover here. Killa taking him down. Konaxi is going to be the last player up ahead of him. CJ going to be going in for the backup, but the grenades are starting to fly out. Killa is going to finish off one. They're landing the shot. CJ with the headshot will put the final nail in the coffin there for Buriram.
And as the circle now shrinks down into the center of Monte Nuevo, it's a little bit of buildings to work with right in the middle. Again, it is this time it's Ferox who have the building advantage as Arcade Predator drives by and Duckmans will get the easy kill onto Chaos. He has been waiting. Maybe the teams have forgotten that Myth are still not out of the game and Duckmans managing to find himself an easy pickoff.
Yeah, he might have as well have wrapped a bow on his head, but that is it for Killa. But Archangel are going to be aware of that lone player. They are just down to 3, so they can still have plenty of muscle to really close out the rest of this game. Day Trade going to be all the way down here on the southern side of the circle. They need to try and get down as fast as they can. They at least have some mode of transport. Not going to be enabling the entire team, but now we can already see the movement coming out from Archangel. But this is really attracting a lot of attention from Fury. The late game vehicle rotations and Duckmans. Oh, he might be watching out for more pressure.
They see him? Duckman taking out Mad Dog, and he's still pretty much alive as Archangel Predator delivers a vehicle right to him, but Duckman having none of that. He still wants more, still wanting to keep Myth in first place, but Ferox now also joining in the party. Archangel Predator completely stranded out in the open. They had such a strong performance, but with 2 isolated pickoffs and Ferox being an added factor, I think Duckmans can still keep the hope of Myth alive.
Yeah, I think Duckmans will be the one-man wrecking crew that Archangel has to slam the brakes on. Right now, Killa and CJ just using whatever utility, and this extra utility you see coming out from Duckmans, remember, he's got 2 people's worth of utility there. This is making it difficult for Killa and CJ to move up here. You don't want to run through your own smokes right in front of your face, because when you emerge, you don't know what you're going to see on the other side. Duckmans is going to be lying prone there, waiting for just that.
Yep, and he is in such an advantageous position. Archangel Predator, they really want to push it. They want to fake it out. Can they do so though? And as soon as they can, they'll finally take out the remaining member of Myth and they eliminate him. But Killa will have his life traded in return by Ferox.
That's a pretty good deal for Myth. Duckman's taking down 3 Archangel Predator players. So they are doing, well, he's doing something right, but unfortunately it's not going to continue to carry Myth into the later stages of this game. But it does look like our fight will be closer to Monte Nuevo than not. There's still going to have to be a lot of movement coming out from Ferox, who are still in this game. They're going to be getting some points on the board in this round. I think they have 1 kill on the board so far. Now they'll be looking to see what else can they secure.
Yep, Ferox finally popped the cherry on the kills, getting themselves a point on that scoreboard. But they immediately decide to relocate themselves into the circle, whereas Phoenix Gaming, they're still kind of holding. Now that's where now they know where Ferox is. It's just right in the compound beside them. Previously, now CJ will be the only one left alive for Archangel Predator, stranded in that low ground, a pseudo trench in the desert out in the open. Pretty hard for him to kind of move into the circle at this point, as most teams still have 4 men alive.
Creatory not inside the zone. They have to try and do something with this. They are not in a great spot, but look at Divine Esport. They are ready to open this shooting gallery for the world. But Phoenix Gaming here is going to be rotating all the way around here, just as Ferox has actually traversed. They already made that first move into the center of the circle, so they're going to have that little bit of advantage to work with. But there's just not a lot of cover out there. There's only going to be those bales of hay and the shack to try and deal with it. Levi's here is waiting for the pressure to come in here. Archangel, Predator, finally going to get taken down. CJ getting picked off by Kush. And now Phoenix Gaming going to be using that closure of that flank to be the go sign.
Yep, and they're driving straight into the circle, but Nico will take out Greeny immediately out from vehicle. Creatory taking a barrage of grenades. Still trying to find a way in as the circle starts closing in. In reality, and IQ 500 they'll have to make a move. And IQ 500 actually tries to beat the bait as Levis goes for a spree down. Still not able to take him out. Kush though will be felled. IQ 500 now will drop from his bike and prone down as Turtle knocks out Sweet Soul.
And look at the vision that Fury is trying to obstruct here. It's better than nothing, putting up those smoke grenades closer to your opponents, but it does look like Phoenix Gaming. They're going to be having 4 men strong here in the later stages again. But I dare say in the previous rounds that they found themselves similar position. They've been a bit too passive. Some shots landing there onto Creatory as they're just really not able to get past this onslaught of fire. Reality finally going to get taken down by the Blues though, as the rest of his team going to be out in the distance here, and there's only going to be a little bit of options left for them as the rest of this Divine Esports team is looking to put the finishing touches.
Yeah, they're gonna probably consider pushing in as Creatory have nowhere to go. 2 versus 4, Divine Esports will go for the killing blow for sure, but Turtle is going to be the one leading the charge as the circle now completely abandoning any form of major structures right into the dead center of the desert, where Ferox are holed up, probably in the safest possible spot that they can ever find.
But look at from the future, they are right next to Golden Cat. Golden Cat, all 4 players looking to get in on some of the action here. Creator going for the long rotate here. IQ 500 leading the way, but he's going to get taken down there by Numsy. Can't seemingly get away from Divine Esports, and looks like Ferox also going to weigh in on that. Nico's taking down Castel, but there's still going to be a lot more pressure coming in. This time, Phoenix Gaming has to pop even more utility. It seems as though they've been living around smoke grenades for the longest of parts. But speaking of smoke grenades, we're going to have Golden Cat unleash a bunch here. They're going to start putting pressure here onto from the future. Tonke is going to frag out on a man. There's only going to be 2 more Indonesian players left up here. They're trying to get the res, but Golden Cat is actually running away.
Yeah, they not going for the full commit, so no secured kills as RDK Boss will go in for the kill onto Tinoy, punishing them for not committing fully, as Levis might be a part of this party as well. Tonke and McDonald's will play around the corner. They're gonna pick their head through and find Levis, who will down Tonke, and now McDonald's is in a pretty tough spot as Levis will now come in from the other side. McDonald's is gonna be on flank watch, needs to protect his teammate, but it looks the wrong way, and he'll be gunned down as well. 2 members from Golden Cat are on the ground, and they most likely are going to bleed to death with no backup. But Namsi will finish off what Turtle started. McDonald's will bleed. Man from VTF will be taken out, and Golden Cat will be eliminated as Ronan will deliver the final blow onto 6 stacks.
Oh, look at Divine Esports. They're starting to heat things up here. Look at this play from RDK Boss. He's going outside the zone, takes out Turtle. It's going to finish him off, but that's not enough time for him to get back in. But that's still going to be another point on the board. Divine Esports reduced down to 3 players, but that's still going to be more than enough. Fury still has 2 players to work with. They're putting pressure onto Phoenix Gaming, and so is Ferox.
And look at where Ferox is. Ferox, they are still hold up pretty safe, same as Phoenix Gaming. The only 2 teams with the entire squad left alive, but Ferox will leave the remaining 3 squads to their own devices, as it's now Divine Esports in a position that they don't want to really be in. They have to try and push in. They were able to finish off. They were able to cause a lot of damage to Golden Cats before finally ending their run. But now it's their turn to make a run for it.
Looking at the positioning that we have from Phoenix Gaming, they are, despite the position in the center of the circle, they are not exactly holding down the fort by excessive amounts of firepower, that's for sure, right? They are going to have a little bit of a 2-2 split going here, which I'm not sure that they're even able to cover each other accurately, but we're already seeing Divine popping the smokes. They're trying to get into a little bit of a better position here as they're trying to navigate their way in that southern side, but there is still going to be pressure. Fury is starting to move in. Now, Ferox looking to see, can they catch out Phoenix Gaming, but they're using the terrain in just enough to escape their fire coming that direction.
Yep, and you can see Ferox now, everyone holding out in the shack behind those stacks of hay as Dr. Logi will unload a barrage of lead onto Ronan. But Ronan still kind of surviving barely behind the tree. Namsi though not so lucky as Nikos will take him down as Ronan now makes a run for it, but Levis will be gunned down mid-air. Cozy finishes him off. Hung Voldish will take down Ronan as Namsi will be down himself as well, but Sweet Soul will land the second knockdown onto Kush. As Phoenix Gaming not really having a good time. Fury Australia pushing right inside, tries to go for a sneaky play, but he gets picked out by Cozy, and Sweet Soul will take out Greeny as well. It's going to be a tussle between Forex, Divine Esports, and Phoenix Gaming.
Yeah, and Divine have really got the Australian team of Ferox to thank for that one. That was Nikki facing the end of elimination right there. But Nikos is going to continue to put on pressure. He has been going ham onto the Phoenix Gaming as he finishes off one, takes down another. Look at Logi trying to hold the fort, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Nikki combining Numsy as well as they're trying to put the pressure. Ferox getting taken down. It is all happening right now as we're seeing the last two players from Divine Esports trying to put the final touches. It is a 2v1 situation as the Vietnamese team, looking like underdogs just a few moments ago, now have got the advantage. Logi is looking to try and get the opening pick, but I think they know exactly where he is. He's going to move to a little bit better cover, but this two-man advantage, this is being used right now by Divine as best they can. They're trying to fight him at the same time to make sure that he's got no chance. He's popping whatever utility he has left. It's just one flashbang.
Yep. It's the only flashbang that he has left. Medkit's not going to help him. He just has to play the terrain. Divine Esports on the hunt, but they do not have the vision advantage, and that is one down. Numsy on the ground. It's now up to Nikki. Dr. Logi finishes off Numsy. It's going to ring around the roses, come around the corner. Nikki sees him, but can he finish him off? Dr. Logi will close it out. Phoenix Gaming on the brink of defeat takes that chicken dinner.
Dr. Logi coming up clutch there in the 1v2 situation. Going to win it for Phoenix Gaming. What a play out there to finish off the Divine Esports players when we thought that it was looking as though it was going to be their day. It wasn't going to be the case, and they're going to be able to take a nice 10 points coming from that. Didn't quite see exactly how many kills that Phoenix Gaming did manage to accomplish, but I mean, towards the end there, Ferox looking as though they wanted to have their say in every single fight going on there, and that might have cost them right at the end.
Yeah, Ferox probably a bit overzealous. They decided to just crash the party, but they got kicked out almost immediately by the combined force of Phoenix Gaming and Divine Esports. But Phoenix Gaming able to hold out until the very end. It was also partly props to the location that they were able to secure right within that circle alongside Ferox.
Yeah, but I think those later stages, it was absolutely tight how they were going to try and deal with it. And Fury, I have to say that they got foiled again in the later stages of the game. It looked as though they were going to actually finish off the likes of Divine Esport, but it was going to be Ferox that was going to actually be smacking their Australian counterparts back down, and a little bit of an unfortunate turn of events there. And Myth, despite going out, losing a lot of players early on, they still had Duckmans alive for the longest part. Took down 3 Archangel Predator players as well. So that's going to cushion the blow of not getting as good a result that they managed to achieve in matches 2 and 3.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the same storyline for QC4 Horsemen or Division S Gaming. They definitely bowed out pretty early, and this first round of Miramar did open up the runnings for a lot of teams who were behind during the Irango series in the first 3 matches.
Totally agree. And I can't wait to see how things are going to be shaking at the top of the table. Divine looks as though they're starting to spark a little bit here, but not enough to outdo Phoenix Gaming, who are also going to be looking to get into the top half of the table. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with match number 4. We will take a short break before we have our final game of the evening, which will be back on Miramar. So that's it for now from HusKKiee and Play of the J. We'll see you after the break.
I'm going to die. With still having the main island having a little bit of control on there, a couple of these guys can make their way through, and he'll find himself getting knocked from.
It's really interesting because, yeah, actually, like, the Team Liquid guys, super, super nice dudes. A grenade up to HusKKiee. HusKKiee, the hero, though, right on top of him.
来看一下这边3名成员不明推进，面对 Harry 的架枪，直接打第一支、第二支、第三支，连串漂亮。
He's gonna have to work his way forward. They're next to each other. He's actually just gone around him. Gaxi, turn around. He's behind you. They have no idea how close they are right now. Gaxi is a centimeter away, and inch by inch they walk forward in unison. Ghoststar just came out of this one. He has no idea that Ghoststar is still behind him. Both prone. Ghoststar. Ghoststar's in the prone. Oh my god, he might go down.
See Ghoststar, but it's not quite enough. K-Man gets him down. K-Man goes for Fuzz. Fuzz forced to go down. He's going to stick to the spray. He's got no bullets left. Mini Fountain. Oh my word.
とそしてリラックス取り特殊部隊サンシスターを沈めに参ります。ケンです。下手投げグレネード一旦効果出て当たってるサドットのダウン裏回って降りて外側1人目ダウン3人目いけるか3人目あー全部取れるか倒して倒した
So many teams now piling up from the south. T-Bone. Oh my word, T-Bone's right next to them. He's gonna fly.
Gonna be coming right here, and we are just waiting, and there we have it.
5시 지역, 서클의 5시 지역에 붙어있는 두 팀인데
위키드가 욕심이 좀 많아요. 봤어요. 인디고 맞고.
네.
Arena, I guess you would call it. Tagged up once, tags up 2. Secure this entire side of the circle, finds the third. What a hell! Oversprayed. Rubbed over the roof, it's gonna bounce up and over. Somehow no kill confirmed on that one either. They don't know about Iroh's position. They have no idea that there's one inside. That one's gonna bounce up and over and take him down. He's gonna have to hop off the roof. Vard is tagged up. Vard finds one more. Great shooting. Molotov thrown forward now as well. Now they have to back off and run the hell out of here. Iroh finds one, and that's the third kill.
不要慌，当然还是得看后续。哇，这个起来了，被空战了。
Imaju lijepu poziciju ovdje, Marv radi dosta damage-a, međutim neće on moći ovo vjerojatno preživjeti. Kako?
Molotov down as well. Spots one bus face. Takes one to the face, falls down immediately after 20 bullets left. Get through this. trying to stay alive, and don't Molotov yourself, and now he jumps off, can't you say it's Res and a healing, and he gets him! 2v. And flash, straight on through. Full wide. I think Valius. Oopsie doopsie. There's a lot of flashbacks. What? How much do you want to ruin his eyes? Stop throwing flashbangs, guys! That's 7 flashbangs. They threw flashing orange. Orange finds 1. He's gonna go down and return, but I'm not.
하니까 체력이 너무 없다. 바로 내려. 흰치.
숨은 쉬어야죠. 그쵸?
오심은 못 줘도 커피는 주고 싶네요.
KT!
I'm going to die. With still having the main island having a little bit of control on there, a couple of these guys can make their way through, and he'll find himself getting knocked from.
It's really interesting because, yeah, actually, like, the Team Liquid guys, super, super nice dudes. A grenade up to HusKKiee. HusKKiee, the hero, but right on top of him.
来看一下这边3名成员不比推进面对 Henry 的架枪，直接打第1支、第2支，丢掉第3支，连串漂亮。
He's gonna have to work his way forward. They're next to each other. He's actually just gone around him. Gaxi, turn around. He's behind you. They have no idea how close they are right now. Gaxi is a centimeter away, and inch by inch they walk forward in unison. Ghoststar just came out of the smoke. He has no idea that Ghoststar is still behind him. Both prone. Ghoststar to the boom. Oh my God, he might go down.
Let's see Ghoststar, but it's not quite enough. K-Man gets him down. K-Man goes for Fuzz. Fuzz forced to go down. He's going to stick to the spray. He's got no bullets left. Mini Fountain. Oh my
word. そしてリラックス取り特殊部隊サンシスターを沈めに参ります。ケンデス下手投げグレネード一旦効果出て当たってるさあドッポのダウン裏回って降りて外側1人目ダウン3人目いけるか3人目全部取れるか倒した
So many teams now piling up from the south. T-Bone. Oh my word, T-Bone's right next to them. He's gonna fly.
Gonna be coming right here, and everybody is just waiting, and there we have it.
5시 지역, 서클의 5시 지역에 붙어있는 두 팀인데
위키드가 욕심이 좀 많아요. 봤어요. 인디고 맞고.
네.
Arena, I guess you would call it. Tagged up once, tags up 2. Secure this entire side of the circle, finds the third. What a hell! Oversprayed. Rubbed over the roof, it's gonna bounce up and over. Somehow no kill confirmed on that one either. They don't know about Iroh's position. They have no idea that there's one inside. That one's gonna bounce up and over and take him down. He's gonna have to hop off the roof. Vard is tagged up. Vard finds one more. Great shooting. Molotov thrown forward now as well. Now they have to back off and run the hell out of here. Iroh finds one, and that's the third kill.
要慌。当然还是得看后续。哇，这个起来了，被空摘了。
Imaju lijepu poziciju ovdje, Marv radi dosta damage-a, međutim neće on moći ovo vjerojatno priživjeti. Kakav
down as well. Spots one bus face. Takes one to the face, falls down immediately after 20 bullets left. Get this. Trying to stay alive and don't Molotov yourself. And now he jumps off, catches AC Res and a healing, and he gets him. 2v.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the PCS Charity Showdown. You're joined here with me, Play the J, and we have HusKKiee as well, my awesome co-caster. We're waiting to bring you the final game for today.
Yeah, and the first 4 games have definitely shaped up to be quite an interesting day so far. We had our front runners for the first 3 maps of Erangel, but once Miramar rolled by, it seems like the front runners are not so in the lead after all, and we'll see if that trend continues into this final match of the day.
But we're only 1/5 of the way through. But let's take a look at match 4 scores as we're going to see how they shaped up. Phoenix Gaming did manage to take it in that 1v2 situation right at the end against Divine Esports, and that's absolutely clutch there as they're going to get 17 points on the round. They're going to be pretty pleased with that as that's really going to help them vault up the standings. Divine Esports also doing very well for themselves as this is their best result so far, seemingly very cold in the first 3 rounds. Archangel Predator, despite losing 3 of their players to the solo myth player of Duckmans, they still managed to get 12 points. And these 3 teams all really getting good results here after falling down those previous 3.
Yep, but it was definitely an unfortunate round for Division X Gaming. Their hopes went up in flames as Archangel Gaming did the deed by blowing up the truck in that particular match. So they kind of close out match 4 without a single point. QC4 Horsemen as well, only bagging 1 point the entire match. Not really the performance that a team that has been leading in the first 3 rounds wants to achieve.
Well, I think it's still going to be early days, but yeah, this is going to be the chance for the teams, to end on a high note and, make sure that they can carry some kind of momentum into the final days. So let's have our very final round here on Miramar, and we're going to get Ferox dropping out very early here over La Cabrera, whereas we're going to be seeing Divine Esports actually going for a little bit of a split strategy here as they're dropping out over the Crater Field side of things.
If there's anything Divine Esports learned, is not to drop in the same area as Myth, as we did have Myth open up, but it seems like DIC, we might just see the same script again. They are both dropping down into power grid. Toby ate the first shot in that match 4, and hopefully this will not be the case. It's going to be another tussle to take over power grid. I think DIC wants a rematch.
Yeah, and I think this is exactly to try and set the tone for the rest of the tournament. You only have 2 maps. You want to try and lay down the authority right here. But you can see that Tony is nowhere close to the central spot here of the compound, and he's going to have enough breathing room. Anquan is going to be very close to Humboya. He's managed to get the AKM already, so he's feeling pretty confident, but he's going to face the M4. So that's going to still be pretty even. 74 is not anywhere close to really help out, but they're both patrolling here. But it doesn't look like he's going to need it. Esquel Lucia is going to be able to get the 1 shot onto Anquan.
Oh, onto his bear skull as well. What a hit shot. That peaked pre-fire. It definitely caught him out by surprise, but I believe DIC were able to knock down Darkmans, but unfortunately not finish him off. So that's a trade that Myth would take any day.
And now looks like they're looking for more, but 74 is going to be able to take down Minoru, so it is not going to be scot-free here for Myth this time. JJ Leo, he's nowhere near. Look at how far Tony is. He's so scared of being in Power Grid anymore. But 74L, he's got the auto shotgun to work things if he so chooses to, but right now it's looking very precarious. the mind games are going in full force here. He's actually moving a bit closer to his teammates, so going to be a little bit smarter about it.
Let's find himself a backpack, but he has to keep his eye on that entrance. He has turned away a couple of times. Hornby doesn't really want to push right in without intel, as HusKKiee will also be slowly moving towards his teammate. But yeah, Tony, having the luxury of time to loot as much resources as he can. Maybe he'll come back to provide backup. But DIC this time wants to bring the fight directly to Myth, not wanting to let them, have the luxury of surviving until the bitter end. But Duckmans actually gets finished off by Tony, who finds him stranded out in the open. So Tony gets his revenge onto Duckmans.
Wow, this is DIC Gaming going full force here, and they're really not wanting to budge away from this battle. Tony gonna be getting a little bit more confidence back, and he's not gonna have another round like 14:05. But there is gonna be JJ Leo still watching through the same doorway. HusKKiee is the only one who's actually made any significant movement besides Tony, and actually getting outside the factory complex.
Yeah, and Tony's gonna be on guard duty, just trying to see if there's anyone from Myth right outside the compound, and he's gonna go beyond the fence and seize the head of HusKKiee, and that is the information that DIC needs. He just needs to get a few clear shots. HusKKiee will now run right in. Hornboy does get a shot, but not enough to down anyone from DIC Gaming. And Myth suddenly are in a really bad spot. He turns around, he gets an accidental fire, but the big bangs are now out from DIC Gaming, not connecting though onto Hornby.
Oh, now look at DIC. They have got all of the backup that they could possibly need. Homeboy, yeah, with that unfortunate shot on HusKKiee, so that's going to be something that he's going to have to regret a little bit, but there's just not a lot of utility and resources to work with here. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. Right now, HusKKiee all the way in the far back here. JJ Leo living by his gun here. He's got no other option. He is out in the open. He's going to be dashing right back in here, see if he can get a little bit more of a rotation around the side. He's already going to try and go out the other side. HusKKiee already knowing what is probably on the Myth, or rather the DIC player's mind.
And Hornby is just really breathing right beside the members of the IC. But Tony will find Hornboy as Hornboy downs JJ Leo, not enough to finish him off. HusKKiee finds Tony though. It's going to be a one-on-one situation between the 74L1 and HusKKiee.
He's got a Car 98 as well to try and win this fight. This is looking very good for HusKKiee, having the AKM to work with, looking seemingly pretty well stocked up, as there's pretty much nothing that 74L can do. He can't stock up. All the bodies are outside, seemingly. He can't even rest his teammates properly. HusKKiee already trying to go in for the rotate here and just tighten the screw ever so much more.
I'm just going to wing in from the side as Hornby will try to crawl in. Maybe just to throw a bit of information into the hands of 74L. But this gives perfect chance for HusKKiee to set things straight. He sees the body of 74L run through, not able to take the shot just yet. So 74L able to revive Tony, who has been able to exact his revenge, and now he can contribute more to his team.
Yeah, and this is going to bring it back to a 2v1 situation, and the HusKKiee, no meds to speak of at all, but now looks like Buriram United in trouble, caught in rotation. Joxy is going to take down Eddie as he gets picked off. HusKKiee, though, is going to finally die off to Tony, so he's going to get the last word on this fight, but DIC Gaming did lose 2 of their players in this altercation, but that is, again, going to be your leaders. That is going to be out. And now we're seeing Buriram still trying to get away. Fury not able to add to that kill total.
Myth got 2 chicken dinners, but not this time. They're the first team to get knocked out, and it's sweet revenge. It's best served cold. Tony feeling a bit good about himself, but not too... saying cannot be safe for Buriram United, losing Eddie out in the open. But they still have 3 men alive, and they were all able to get away from that conflict zone.
Now, going into this match, Myth was leading with 48 points, a 14-point lead over Division X Gaming, which they had 34. QC4 Horsemen and Golden Cat both had 32 apiece. Now, they must be wetting their lips, thinking of how they can overcome this deficit with Myth going out so early in this game. And you see DIC Gaming they are not backing away from Power Grid. I am expecting to see this battle happen tomorrow as well. Not tomorrow, but this coming Saturday as well. And we got 3 rounds on Miramar.
And just look at the shot from Tony. Actually just
that
nailing
was amazing.
Yeah, so Tony on fire. The DIC gave me 2 men left alive, but for the other teams, it is a breath of relief. Imagine, knowing that the front runners are out this early on. It is still phase 1, a minute until the circle closes in. Ferox this time not really that lucky with finding a shelter, but still pretty much in a cozy spot.
But yeah, I think that shot from the Winchester was perfect from Tony and definitely worthy of taking down Duckmans. You usually wouldn't catch Duckmans getting taken down in such a fashion away from his team members and everything. But now we're seeing Daytrade actually attracting a little bit of fire from Archangel. Now, after their 3rd place finish, Archangel is still only in 8th position here. They're really at the mid-table with the 21 points. They did manage to get into those double-digit points the previous round. So let's see if they can continue to their assault. Phoenix, after winning that previous round, they're up into 5th now. But so they're going to actually push down the 2 Aussie teams. Divine also moving up into 7th. So things are starting to heat up a little bit. But there's still every chance that these teams can really overcome quite the deficit. Now, we have actually been looking at that fight with Myth and DIC for so long. DIC taking so long in that fight, they are still there at Power Grid. Look at how far away the zone is. We're going to be all the way here on the eastern side, and now everyone is going to be caught in rotation. Oh no.
Back to driving school. So we're down right towards the coastline. This is Phoenix Gaming's movements. They are playing right outside the circle during that first phase. So they are on their way into safe zone. I think that 70 points was a good injection to bring them up into top 5. But DIC now has a little bit of issue to work with. No vehicle in sight. They're on foot, and trying to make it into the circle is not going to be easy when there's so many teams still stranded inside that blue zone, or at least within the vicinity of that next blue zone.
Golden Cat going to be a bit scattered, but I think a lot of our teams that we're seeing right now, they're facing a lot of problems. Buriram United seemingly can't catch a break. No. They're getting caught from all sides. Gems is going to take 1 down, going to get the 2nd. He's going to pick up a nice double kill here. QC 4 Horsemen back in business in match number 5. They are looking to exact more pressure on all the surrounding areas.
And Swift, you can see him driving straight into Buriram to finish the job. And Namsi loading some bullets himself. Still not able to take down anyone from Divine Esports, as Divine Esports are pretty much still safe, but they're now being challenged by Cerberus, who are on top of the hill.
Yeah, Mina Cinderella is looking like it's going to increase in a little bit of the population size, but for now, it's only going to be these 2 squads to work with. We're seeing Atletico making their moves. They're actually going all the way down into the blue zone. Not uncommon to see this, as they want to try really circumvent the majority of the teams, because given the kind of flight plan, the circle that you had as a result, they can pretty much know that unless we were one of the first ones inside the zone, there is pretty much going to be packed. So that's why their whole strategy right now is revolving, playing very much on the edge.
But Daytrade maybe not so lucky, as Creatory does see them driving by, but it's in the opposite direction. So Daytrade are just trying to avoid any sort of conflict, and especially if you're Mighty right now, you don't want to be caught out by the entire squad of Creatory who are playing in that very secluded area of the cliff. Castle holding back that trigger finger. Daytrade are not really in the clear just yet. Puchios would have his truck being lit, but still safe to drive away.
Yeah, he's seemingly can't catch a break right now, as the whole Creatory is trying to chase him down, but they're all on foot, and he's got a 4x4, so he's going to be in with good stead, and now he's on the downhill slope, so to speak. But there's going to be Long K taking down Cozy, as we're going to see Division X Gaming trying to restrict a lot more of the rotation coming out here as we're about to approach phase number 3. Finally, DIC Gaming, after that long, arduous battle with Myth, they are finally entering the zone, only to move again.
So they made it in, and you can see the immediate U-turn from DIC. They're like, now we have to move into, where the majority of the population are congregated. Everyone is actually, almost everyone, 95% of the players are in that vicinity. We're gonna see a lot of gunfights for sure. Let's start off with Division X Gaming, who had a very unfortunate turn of events in that previous round. Now they still have 4 men strong as Venotica gets knocked by Nikos off screen. You can see on the kill feed, Ferox still once more. It's gonna look for another one as they trade. Now it's their turn to not catch a break after escaping Creatory. They run into the hands of Ferox.
Nikos, though, is still giving a lot of oversight onto that whole slope, waiting for the smokes to pop out here before trying to make a move to Venotica. But Nikos not having enough backup. I mean, they're not too far away, but they need to get closer here, as now they're trying to get in and secure that teammate. But there's going to be enough here working for them. Nikos here going to be tanking a big one there, as there's going to be enough coverage. Killa actually taking down Reality here. Not sure how the other players are going to be spaced out for Creatory, but not enough to help Reality, it would seem, as he's going to get thirsted on, as now grenades raining down, but they're too little too late for Ferox to confirm the kill.
Yeah, Nikos with a very ambitious lob, but just not able to gain up distance. So they trade, able to get all of their members out and away from Ferox, who still trying to go for a chase down, but they are now in a disadvantaged situation outside the circle. Only 2 of them are in the safe zone, as Archangel Predator driving inside is Carves all alone, but CJ will find Maxonus. There's another Golden Cat member being knocked down.
Wow, so CJ is going to be getting those long-range fires working out here. Calps taking the opportunity to get out and heal up just a little bit as they strayed a little bit too close to the compound there. But Maxonus should be okay. They are going to be having enough breathing room. I think both of these squads not necessarily looking to really grind it out, but Calbs is actually moving very close here as he's got the back from the rest of his teammates. But actually he's decided to make a big U-turn, and he's actually taking fire from at least 2 or 3 different areas.
Yeah, and probably the better decision, or he'll be driving straight into Golden Cat. So Golden Cat does have the control at the edge of the circle at this point of time. Pretty much healthy. All of the members have the necessary utility if they want to push in for that 4th phase. But the circle is going to close in, and we're already getting a bit more centralized away from the shoreline, where where GC is literally in that middle. But now we're going to beat a bit to the east side, and it's going to have VTF, Victor from the Future, still 4 men strong in Junkyard.
Now, this is looking absolutely terrible here for Archangel and Golden Cat. They have to move through Fury just to get in there, and there's just so many players still alive. We're only at the midpoint of the game, and we got 54 left alive. This is where it's going to get ugly. QC 4 Horsemen holding the compound here on the hill. Going to be enough obstruction there to prevent them from really shooting at all of these lower ground areas that we're seeing Maxonus move into. Bury Rum United occupy through God Meow, but God Meow is actually not really looking to pick a fight, just given the fact that, yeah, you probably want to get Bury Rum United as far towards the end of the game as possible, and usually that means extending your life expectancy by being a little bit on the quiet side.
Yep, and it's probably only going to catch wind of Golden Cats as Maxonus and Tonkei will be in the shack near Godmail. The only survivor of Bury Rum United. It's going to do the job of what Extreme from Atletico and Darkmans from Myth did in the previous 2 rounds. This time it's his turn to provide the lead for his team as much as he can. But speaking about Atletico Extreme, they now have secured a pretty decent position from 2 angles. They can look down straight onto Cerberus.
This could be quite useful for them, but they need to make a move. The blue zone is already creeping up on their heels, as now DIC seemingly been on the edge since the start of the game. They're going to continue moving in. Atletico also moving up here onto this high perch. They're going to be having that little bit of added cover. Subang and the rest of Cerberus, it's going to be wise of their threat, of the threat that they pose, just given how they are still not all inside that western part of the phase 4 zone.
DIC still, they've been pretty quiet after the wipeout onto Myth. They're still pretty much alive off the grid for now. It's remaining under the radar, whereas the rest of the team are just trying to fight for territorial advantage within that circle, as Exodus does land a few shots on the Culps. And it's going to pop the Adrenaline immediately. Forex though, Ferox having that outer perimeter of that circle, playing behind the cliff, same as the Atletico. It's going to be Cerberus being called out in the crossfire. As you can see, Ikamuka will be taken up by Killer and eliminated. Mad Dog takes out Ronon, so Fury Australia not really in a good spot. Extreme gets down as well. Sweet Soul taken out by Vanatica. This is going to be a 4-way fight between squads as you see these starts flying out. Smoke grenades also being deployed just to keep the team safe.
Cerberus needs to move faster here. They have managed to get the first pick there on the Extreme, but they need to follow it up with a little bit more. They're allowing Atletico to get the res off here. Flood is going to be all the way in the back here, but there's going to be Victim on the hillside as well, influencing things. In the meantime, we're seeing off-screen Archangels taking down the entirety of Fury. There's only one player left, I do believe. Zoidmate tanking quite a bit of damage, and Extreme is going to go down yet again, this time to Subang. Basil getting some vantage point here to work with for the rest of his team, but it's going to be a little bit of pressure alleviated for Atletico as Linksy going to be taking down Bad Guy.
Yeah, and if you look at the map right now, other than the current conflict, it's going to be QC who has to deal with at least 4 teams from across his entire compound. Meanwhile, HusKKiee will be the first confirmed kill in this entire stretch of conflict. The rest of players gets knocked down. Extreme finally dies to fatigue and bleeding out. Basil as well, eliminated by Namsi from Divine Esports. Culps will somehow still safe and alive. Mad Dog is the only one who is incapacitated right in the open. There's a smoke grenade though, as Mad Dog will have to crawl towards Culps to be resuscitated. But IQ 500 maybe not want to let Archangel go to rest. Killer takes out Fury inside, and here comes a grenade into the shack. Godmail's forced out of his cover, and he's the only one alive, so he's going to be finished off. Subang takes out Zoidmate. Cerberus Esports will end up getting eliminated alongside Birmingham United, as Godmail has nowhere else to go, but the bloodbath does continue. Creatori loses 4 members, 145 and Castle. Eliminated DIC, losing 74 L1, which means Tony will be the only one alive as Chaos opens fire. IQ 500 is down, Cozy out as well. Creatori Esports is eliminated.
Yeah, they took too long to take the fight there to Archangel. They're going to be taking them down here in quick fashion after getting up Mad Dog. But now, does look like Division X Gaming here. Moving up, Sweet Soul here. Going to be able to spot out 19 Cent. Not able to land enough of the shots. He's going to get punished for just that. Now only Nikos left here for Ferox to try and deal with it. But he's taking a lot of damage. 17 HP left for him. He is in a difficult spot. Eruption of gunfights all around here as now Day Trade is looking to see, can they put the finishing touch? They're actually retreating from this one here, and Nikos has to thank his lucky stars for that one.
Yep, but the circle is closing it pretty quickly. Nikos still not out of the swamp just yet. Now he has to try and make it into the zone with 2 squads, Day Trade and Division X Gaming, right in front of him. He just have to leave those 2 teams to their own devices as McZonus will finally knock down Chaos, but not finish him off just yet, as Puchis will find Sapao. The Sapaos will be down and out this time. Archangel Predator though loses 2 immediately. Vanatica also knocked down. Tony died to the zone. DIC Gaming is out after an excruciating run since the first phase.
Division X Gaming and Day Trade in locked in battle right now, and they're all trying to play along the line here. The double there for Matey. He's going to take down half of the squad strength there. Archangel is going to get taken down off screen. Killer going to be biting the bullet as Long K putting the finishing touches there, as Day Trade Gaming is going to be eliminated here, but he is only the last surviving member, I do believe here, as now Digital X Gaming 5 kills on the board. They're going to have to try and move in from that eastern side, but Nikos might have something to say about it.
Yeah, Nico's repaid Division S Gaming by helping them take out Day Trade, but not before claiming the life of one of the members of Division S Gaming for himself as well as a bit of a reward. But now Flood will have to play a bit of dodgeball. In this case, dodging grenades. Teddy, not having vision of Linksy, is going to run straight in. But Flood will get gunned down by Teddy first. Unfortunately, Linksy though not able to get his clear shot. Now he sees Teddy. He's going to go in fight, but Teddy pros down. And the bullets actually misses. So not so lucky for Linksy. He needs to save his members. But Teddy finally finished him off. And Elastico out in 9th.
Linksy losing 2 of those players there. It's just not happening for him. Victim from the future are going to be happy with that. Nikos is finally going to finish off that battle with Division X Gaming. They're going to get finished off here. But now Divine looking to get into a position of greater strength than they are in now. They are getting absolutely pinned here by 4 Horsemen and the likes of Victim, as they are really caught in a little bit of a pickle here. They're trying to run in the final distance here for phase 6 on foot, and so far it's working. The topography is going to be just about right that they can evade the fire between the 2 teams.
And Divine Eastbound Namsi is going to lob that grenade right onto that high ground, barely clipping Teddy with the shrapnel. But Victor from the future, 3 members still alive. You can see the flashbacks also being tossed out. Divine Esports might want to go for the push. Phoenix Gaming as well, playing on the outskirts. This is going to be a 3-way battle. And Namsi being a bit overcautious, looking behind, making sure no one comes out from the shack. But with that out of the way, it is time for them to push onto Victim from the future.
The saving grace of this is that QC4 Horsemen are not exactly straying too far from their compound. They want to prioritize the position here. Teddy not able to land the shots. Eats a ton himself. That's 75 HP gone, and he's going to have to try and reduce the pressure here. But look at the number of flashbangs all coming out over the top is forcing the Indonesian players to move all the way down. Levi's is going for the flank all the way around the top here. RDK Boss lying prone at the top. He's waiting for Divine Esports to show themselves to get one here, but Nikki and Levi's will combine to take down Teddy. There is still going to be that presence of RDK Boss. He was still prone for the longest part, and he's going to be able to take down Nikki. There's only going to be Levi's and Turtle who's left remaining here. They are caught between trying to res their team members and trying to finish off this fight.
With a lot of X Factor, you can see Fury Australia have one person left alive, and Fury Australia and Ferox, excuse me, also has one alive. Nico, who has been making a difference in the crucial gunfights, especially eliminating Division X and helping with the elimination of Day Trade. VTM now they themselves kind of trapped inside the building, as Phoenix Gaming might just push onward to finish off Man. As the Hung Vo will find him, and there we go. There's another member down for VTF. His kill will be confirmed, and VTF should be out. He'll be eliminated. Nikos will be finished off by Jokesy as well. So it seems like Fury Australia will be the superior Australian team in this final match.
Right now, Divine looking like they're conquering this hillside. That Victim was trying to hold on for the longest part. They are no more, but Divine have managed to get all of their players up here, given a lot of time to get up all of their players to maximum squad fighting effectiveness. But there is still going to be Hung Vodich here for Phoenix Gaming. Now, they do still have 3 members alive that can still be significant threat. Now, they did have the better of Divine Esport in the end of the last game. Is that going to be a repeat here? That's what we're going to have to find out right now. There's still going to be QC4 Horsemen on the south side that is going to probably take the fight to these guys.
And speaking about QC4 Horsemen, Jokesy will finally meet his maker. Down to the last 4 teams. The 2 frontrunners are still pretty much healthy. QC4 Horsemen and Golden Cat not really involved in this major conflict. We might see a Mexico stand-up between these 2 teams, but now all eyes are on Divine Esports and Phoenix Gaming, as the guns will fire, lists will start to rain. But in the end, it's going to be Divine Esports coming out on top to salvage round 4. They will take out Phoenix Gaming.
Levi's and Numsy coming up huge there, as they really managed to get that bit of revenge here. Tonke is now going to be facing problems, as well as Maxonis trying to go around the side here. Now, this is exactly the time for Divine Esports to start to push up. Golden Cat starting to get some results here against the 4 Horsemen, as it's still going to be effectively this 2-on-2 battle going on now. This doesn't look good here for Spit. He's eating quite a bit of damage. Maxone is coming around the side, but that's not going to work out too well for him. It's down to a 1v1 as Tinoy is trying to duke it out here with Svit. Svit coming over the top. He has to try and secure this one, but he looks like he's just trying to confirm a few of the kills while he still can. This is still going to be very much in Divine's favor. They are encroaching all around the sides.
Yep, and it's going to be QC 4 Horsemen winning it out, securing himself another kill. Tinoy, unfortunately, going to be the casualty this time. We will see a 4 versus 2. Switch will try to revive Gems, and he will be able to do so. But now they have to face the Rev after being idle for so long. It's Turtle who wins the Turtle race this time. Swit gets caught out immediately. They toss the Molotov. Not able to burn Swit to death. He kind of misses a bit, but Gems will have to duke it out on his own. They confirm the kill onto the second last member of QC4 Horsemen, and this is the push from Turtle, and Divine Esports will claim the last chicken dinner of the day.
And they didn't start the day well, but they definitely closed it out strong. Divine Esports from Vietnam is going to get that double-digit kills to boot as well, and they're going to be pretty happy with that result. They're going to be vaulting up the standings here, and what better way than to take down Phoenix Gaming as well on the way to that victory.
And this entire standings that we might see that we will see at the end of the day will definitely show a big implication on mid position, especially. Even though if they still end up in the lead in first top 3, definitely could have been more if not for the fact that they were taken out early in match 5 and round 4. They were severely crippled, but it definitely does show that these contenders could equally match and on par with the skills.
Absolutely, and I think, yeah, that's definitely going to give something to think about for mid. They only managed to get 2 kills in that game, and that was all that they were going to get. DIC Gaming, let's not forget, was the one to show them up there at a hotly contested Power Grid side of things. So we'll have to see if we're going to be blessed with more of that in the next day of competition as well, because obviously you want to try and get the dominance on your preferred dropping spot. And I guess, of course, yes, this is a little bit of a charity event, so maybe you might be a little bit more daring, but at the same time, there's still money on the line. There's still 100,000 for the winning team to try and win for their chosen charity, and you all can give as well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do feel like it. So all you have to do is go to geekevents.asia/PCS donate. So make sure you do go and check out the link if you want to donate. Any amount is great, as of course, there are a lot of less fortunate, especially in these trying times, and any little bit helps. And big thank you in advance, and of course, to our sponsor, Predator, and our partner, PUBG Corporation.
Yeah, and I think for the first day itself, it definitely has really shapen up to be a pretty competitive circuit for this charity showdown. We have 4 days in total. We've already done with the first one. 3 more days to go. This Saturday, next Thursday, and next Saturday to close things out. So 15 more matches, but it felt like this first 5 match is a show of strength to see which team is at the top. And I could say that Myth, QC 4 Horsemen, and Golden Cat probably are kind of the front runners, but you definitely have some really serious contenders in the form of Division X Gaming, in the form of Divine Esports, and even to a certain extent, Fury Australia.
Absolutely. I think a lot of teams have stepped up over the course of these 5 games. And yeah, you can't shut anyone out now. But we will be taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen. And when we return, we will be showing you our Match 5 scores and the standings to end the day. And we'll see how things are going to be shaping up for Saturday's competition. So we'll see you just after the break.
get a kill in the air, shall we? Oh, I would love to see it, Memo. Do it. Do it. No way!
폭감 3킬.
폭감은 3킬. 폭이 없죠, 근데. 자, 하지만 나는 근접 최고의 스페셜리스트 언더다. 가자. 와. 오! 1루. 오지 멘토스.
É contra o seu parceiro de equipe, Memel, Nandinho.
A granadinha.
Olha a granadinha do mistério. Tacou. O quê? Lá em cima. O quê?
A little bit more time to develop here in El Azhar than the one did in Montevideo, but KJ.
Great angle for KJ to hold, knowing full well that over to his west, he's gonna get another big plays here coming from Sadie's to Noardra, but they are absolutely dominating. They get another one.
さあこちらはエレメント36移動中ではありますがどうだ
Hello.
どうだ
와! 김건희! 90픽! 설마요? 와! 김건희!
자, 일단
HVZ já avistou primeiro, tá metendo. Sim, toma cuidado, avistou primeiro, meteu bala, já conectou. Acertou o MG1, tá quase pegando o Magnata. Nossa, que bala! Pegou o Magnata e agora são 2 jogadores somente da equipe 14. O HVZ agora aqui. Olha, o Senna tá metendo bala ali. Nossa. Foi pra bala. Quem que ia cabecear a bala, Nandinho?
Era ele mesmo.
Era ele? Então tá aí, HVZ. HVZ. O squad.
This is 鱼刃，nice double kill。
Yet been able to find their entry into this circle wildcard. Oh, sharp shot! You see swapping son of a gun into the back seat of the buggy onto his butt and spraying down onto.
이쪽에 NN이 맞은 거거든요. 자, 기절을 못 시켰는데 고각 수류탄 바로 못 시켰어요. NN 고각 수류탄. 자 위로. 오우. 자 이제 하나 더. 와! 슈퍼 플레이 나오네요. 진짜 울트라.
You guys remember that Carnage had just a second ago? They're about to have some company as people just come rolling. No, Budgie! What? He lived somehow, some way. It's a little shot. This is chaos incarnate. Microphone gets taken down his
厉害！这个厕所里面有人，但是他不知道一个
哎呦
飞
打了个屁股
身进去。
哎呀，好痛！这种角度真的很痛。
关键是他还是背着进去的，这是倒车入库。
背刺达人国良，
最后他
兄弟又来一个补吗？
补
一手扔到底，
补的话
没子弹了，还有12发，哇！
啊，第3个人呢？
你在干什么呀？
여욱 선수가 좀 혼자 남아있고 여기 살리고 연막적으로 소리 들렸죠 방금? 여기 있나요? 지금 불편한 동거를 가든 아니 몰랐어요.
Have the numbers, which is starting to come back down the side. And Stacy's just holding the angle. He does go down from some good shots from McCoy. He jumps out of the building. His grenades go through. He spins back around on this angle. Steps around back behind him. Picks up another one. All right, McCoy. I see what you're working with. Happy birthday to you. And he picks up a 4.
I'm trying to throw the pan. They're trying to pan him. They're actually trying to pan him. They got him! H3 got him!
get a kill in the air, shall we? Oh, I would love to see it, Memo. Do it. Do it. No way!
폭감 3킬.
폭감은 3킬.
폭이 없죠, 근데. 자, 하지만 나는 근접 최고의 스페셜리스트 언더다. 가자.
와. 우와! 일로. 오제 멘토스.
É contra o seu parceiro de equipe, Memel, Nandinho.
A granadinha.
Olha a granadinha do mistério. Tacou. O quê? Lá em cima. O quê?
A little bit more time to develop here in El Azhar than the one did in Montego, but KJ.
Great angle for KJ to hold, knowing full well that over to his west, he's going to get another big plays here coming from Sadie's to Noardra, but they are absolutely dominating. They get another one.
さあこちらはエレメント36移動中ではありますがどうだ
Hello.
와!
김건희!
90픽! 설마요? 와!
김건희!
자, 일단
HVZ já avistou primeiro. Tá metendo. Toma cuidado, avistou primeiro, meteu bala, já conectou. Acertou o MG1, tá quase pegando o Magnata. Nossa, que balaço. Pegou o Magnata e agora são 2 jogadores somente da equipe 14. O HVZ agora aqui. Olha, o Senna tá metendo bala ali. Foi pra bala. Quem que ia cabecear a bala, Nandinho?
Era ele mesmo.
Era ele? Então tá aí, HVZ. HVZ. O squad.
中招漂亮 ，This is 鱼刃，nice double kill。
Yet been able to find their entry into this circle wild card. Sharp shot! You see swapping son of a gun into the back seat of the buggy onto his butt and spraying down onto.
이쪽에 NN이 맞춰거든요. 자, 기절을 못 시켰는데 고각 수류탄 바로 못 시켰어요. NN 고각 수류탄. 자 위로. 오우. NN. 자 이제 하나 더. 와! 슈퍼 플레이 나오네요. 진짜.
You guys remember that Carnage had just a second ago? They're about to have some company as vehicles just come rolling. No, Lucky! What? He lived somehow, some way. And it's a little shot. This is chaos incarnate. Microphone gets taken down.
And welcome back to the PCS Charity Showdown, where we've just concluded all 5 matches of day 1. It's been interesting. We also see a fun arcade match of Protect the Queen 32 versus 32. I'm HusKKiee and I'm joined by Play of the J.
Thank you so much. And yeah, that was an awesome show match, as well as the 5 matches that we were blessed with. 3 rounds on Aragon and 2 rounds on Miramar. So let's take a look here at the match 5 results here, as we're going to see Divine finally getting into the top spot for any of the rounds today. They were starting slow, but they managed to pick things up. Last game, they arguably should have taken it. They had a 2v1 against Phoenix Gaming, but it wasn't going to happen. But they managed to do it in this one here, and they're going to get 20 points for their troubles. QC4 Horsemen getting a solid 13. Golden Cat also getting into the double-digit points yet again. But it's going to be cutting down the lead substantially here, and especially Myth. They only managed to get 2 points here in this round. They were leading quite substantially before, but now everyone is going to be hot at their heels.
Yeah, totally right. So with that being said, this is definitely going to shake up the overall leaderboard. As we'll take a look at the total scores of all the teams. You can see Myth still pretty strong in first place. They had that chicken dinner, but unfortunately they didn't get the lead that they really wanted. Only 50 points in total. If you compare Myth in match 2 and 3, they had almost a 12 to 16 point lead, but now it's just down to a 5-point differential between them and QC4 Horsemen, who came in second, followed by Divine Esports off of that chicken dinner in that last match, and then Golden Cat in fourth, and Division X Gaming in fifth.
Yeah, you got 10 points separating the top 5. So I believe that this is looking pretty intense here as we're going to be closing things out here for day number 1. But it's still very much going to give all these teams here the kind of traction that they need to continue assaulting the summit there. Myth had a couple of very good rounds, and now everyone else is trying to catch up to them. As you said, they did have a lead of something like 14 to 16 points earlier on, but this is evaporated. They've only got 5-point berth over QC4 Horsemen, and I could see them still, still having to face the likes of Archangel Predator firing on all cylinders. They still have to reckon with this, as you said. There's still going to be another 15 rounds to play here, and I know the kind of quality that we see here. Anyone can step up to the plate.
Yeah, and I think for teams like Cerberus Esports and probably to up to an extent Archangel Predator kind of have to go back to the drawing board. They have more than a day to think about what they can do coming into Saturday. We're gonna have another 3 maps of Erangel and 2 maps of Miramar. Probably by then they will have another strategy to at least give themselves a decent lead, because the first 2 days is probably the most important. The first half, the first 10 rounds to establish a lead, and with for example, Cerberus Esports, who only have 5 points across the board, that's an average of 1 kill per match. It isn't really looking too hard for them.
Yeah, and this is of course going to give people a chance here to really go back to the drawing board if they need to. I think we've seen some great performances today, and I think it's just going to be these slight adjustments. Are DIC Gaming and Myth still going to be dropping our power grid? We'll have to wait and find out. But any last words, HusKKiee, before we sign off for today?
Well, just hope that when Saturday drops by, 1405 won't be the first one to go down as after they parachuted off the plane. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the charity showdown.
Yeah, I think 1405's luck has steadily improved, thankfully, so he can feel better about that as well as Creatory. But yeah, that is going to be all from HusKKiee and Play of the J. We hope you've all been having a great time. Thank you so much to everyone tuning into the stream, and thank you so much if you've made a donation already. Just again, you can tune in or visit the geekevents.asia/PCS CS donate if you do want to try and give excess money that you have available to give to the less fortunate. So thank you so much if you have, and that's going to be it from us. Hope you have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you on Saturday.